Are you sure?
And we are live. And just to say hello from the Effect Podcast and introduce our guest GM, the marvelous Magnus Seter, who you will have heard on previous episodes of our podcast and who has written for many games. We were briefly just filling him in. Back in the 80s, he was writing for Cyberpunk 2020, and he's writing an adventure for this very release of Drakar Octomona, of Dragonbane. And Magnus, do you think you've written for every single edition of Dragonbane?
I've written for every single publisher of Dragonbane. So that is 30 years of writing for this game. Different rules iterations, of course. But I'm not the most prolific contributor to the game, but I've managed to put some work in for each and every one of the publishers, and some that will be adapted to this version, either by Free League, but more probably using the third-party license, basically.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm really looking forward to the release of this.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
well, we're really looking forward to playing the game that you've so kindly offered to run for us tonight. Thank you so much for doing that, Magnus. That's great. We talked just before we came on air that we're going to say a little bit about the rules. So unless you've got something else you wanted to say, Matt,
I was going to say that we are running through the Quick Start adventure that you can download from the Kickstarter site, and so beware spoilers, I guess. If you're planning on playing that, then you might want to not watch the show. But if you do watch the show, please like and subscribe. Yeah.
Or if you don't watch the show, like and subscribe anyway.
Yeah, before you stop watching the show, like and subscribe anyway.
Yes, the game Dragonbane is, as everyone here knows, and probably those who are watching as well know, that this is the first English translation of the game Drakar och Demoner, which is the classic Swedish fantasy role-playing game based on basic role-playing. So that means that it's a skill-based system. You roll low with a die. It used to be a D100, now it's a D20. Well, it used to be D100, then it turned into D20 rather quick, and this is where the Free League has put down the foot and said, we're also using the D20. So that's what you roll, a D20. The camera is, there it is, the classic D20. The big difference between this and Dungeons & Dragons when it comes to resolution rolls is that you should roll low for skill resolution and for attacks. So if you roll a 1, you roll what is called a dragon, which is a perfect roll in old parlance. And if you roll a 20, you roll a demon, which is an especially dramatic failure. And you, in true Free League style, you roll below your skill value, and that's it. They don't, at least in the Quick Start game, they don't have modifiers. What I can assign you is you can either get a boon or a bane. So a boon means you roll 2d20 and choose the best one for you. And if you have a bane, you roll 2d20 and you choose the one that's the worst result for you. Matt?
Yep, that's me.
I'm getting some double. I'm hearing myself twice.
I know what's happening here, actually. I haven't got my headphones on.
Okay.
So it's coming off my mic, I imagine. Give me a moment.
This is the 5 years of professionalism and experience that Matthew and I have got in podcasting and streaming shining through right now. Well done, Matt. Yeah.
It's got this raw energy and
that's very generous of you, Magnus.
There we go. That should cure your echo, Magnus.
It's got that raw
Thank
sewage
you.
feel. That's what it's got.
So basically, that's what this is. You have the basic stats. You have let's see now, strength, agility. Let me see if I can bring up someone. Strength, constitution, agility, intelligence, willpower, and charisma. Oh yes, thank you, Thomas. No, Paul was it? Thank you. And sometimes I might ask you to roll below one of your stats, but most often it's a skill. You pick a skill that you want to use, and you roll below that to succeed. And as is the style of Free League, they say that you roll when something is at stake. So not a lot of just rolls for the sake of it, but roll when something is happening and resolve that. So that's something to think about. With that said, one of the classic things with Drakar och Demoner is the spot hidden skill.
Yeah.
It is quite central to detecting things and avoiding traps and things like that. So that's something that your characters would be doing quite often, rolling for spot hidden. Don't forget that.
Right.
Somebody else
Okay.
go first then.
Yeah.
Because that's a difference from the little bit of a difference from for example the Svärdet song, which is called Forbidden Lands, where you say what you're looking for and you find it basically.
Yeah.
They don't want you to roll for spot hidden, but in Drakar och Demoner and Call of Cthulhu, which is also a basic role-playing derived game, spot hidden has sort of like a elevated status among the skills. A bit too useful, I think. So we'll see where that lands. If you succeed in your skill roll or your attack roll, which is below a skill, you deal damage, unless someone parries. Another important thing here is that the action economy is in this version is very much slimmed down. So you have a move and an action. And if you have used your action to attack, you cannot parry or dodge. So if you want to dodge or parry, you have to save your action.
You can't translate your move into an action if you don't move.
No.
No. Okay.
But you can divide your move into move a bit, then do your action, and then move a bit again.
Right. Yeah.
So it's that's standard. I think that's the same in 5e, for example, Dungeons and Dragons.
So Jack, I've got to interrupt you here, and I'm not trying to be a rules lawyer, but I have got a talent ability. I don't know what we call our thing's called Protector.
Yes.
And it says if you and one or more other player characters are in melee combat against the same enemy, and the enemy tries to attack one of the others, you can activate this ability to force the enemy to attack you. Using this ability can be done out of turn and does not count as an action.
Yes. Then it will not count as an action. It will cost you 3 willpower.
But if I then parry, that will be my action gone.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
I used that to great effect this Sunday when I played Makander. So it's a good thing. Also, let's see now. You have, for example, Makander has 14 willpower points. This is a quite short adventure, so don't hoard your willpower points tonight.
Right.
And it's also quite easy to recoup the willpower points. So don't sit there and think, I have to save these for later. Maybe save 4 or 5 for the end, but feel free to just use and activate and use your kin talent and your what it's called, yrke, profession, talent.
Yeah.
So don't hoard those things. If you, I know that Dave and Matt have played, and also Mohammed have played Coriolis, and so maybe Paul and Thomas has done as well. Yeah, you mentioned Alien, Thomas. So in those games, damage goes is deducted from the base, so from the statistics. But here we have hit points, which is a straight hit point. If you get damaged, your hit points are reduced to no ill effect for the skill rolls. So this is not the spiraling thing that the Zero games have. This is more like, if you have hit points, you are all right.
Cool.
But if this is new for this edition of the game, if you want to push is what you call it push. If you want to push a roll, you may do so, but that will cost you a condition. And if you look up beneath the stats, you will see that there is one condition for each stat. And if I, for example, say that I want to hit Matthew, Matthew's character, exactly.
Thank you.
If I want to hit Matthew's character in the head and I miss, I can say, well, but I will push. That's what you call it. Press is what we call it in Swedish. Push. Then I can do so, and I would choose one of the conditions and mark that.
It doesn't have to be for the
No.
skill,
Exactly.
the attribute that your skill was related to.
Exactly.
Right.
So even if you use a charisma-based skill, you don't have to take the condition for charisma, but you should choose something that is thematically correct.
Yeah.
So if you fail a charisma roll, unless you have a very spectacular explanation, I wouldn't put the condition on strength, for example. Yeah. And if for every condition that you take, you cannot push.
You can say press if you like, Magnus. It's fine.
I think I will keep doing press and push. Then you can't push that skills based on that stat. So if you have a condition for charisma, you cannot push charisma-based skills. It's quite simple, actually. It sounds more difficult when I explain it, but the thing is, this is the. I'm not familiar with Alien, but I think that Alien has some sort of condition-based thing as well. So this is some sort of development of the thinking they have.
Alien doesn't have conditions, but Versen and
Versen has
Tales from the Loop.
Tales from the Loop.
From the Flood. Yeah.
But it's quite simple, and that is one of the goals with this game, and one of the things that this game will tries to emulate is not emulate, but it's simple. It's supposed you pick it up and you play for what is the tagline, mirth and mayhem. This is supposed to be a pick 'em up game where you don't spend too much time thinking or obsessing about the rules. You just play for fun. That's the thing. Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay, so who is Thomas is the Archmaster. So you have spells. And do you have the quick start in front of you so that you can
I do
read about the spells?
And I have.
Okay. Good. Spells are quite simple as well. You roll against your magic skill. You spend 2 willpowers per spell level, unless it's one of the basic cantrips. Then you spend 1 willpower. And you spend it even if you fail your roll for using magic. So it can be quite risky, but still it's just burn them, burn the willpower points. It makes for a much more fun game. Okay, so that's is there anything that you yourselves have wondered about? I'm no expert on these rules, but I've read them through now, and I think I've got a good handle on them because they are very simple. But is there anything that you are wondering about? How does this work, and what should I think? How should I think about this?
The only thing I'll say is I'm assuming that when I strike somebody with my long spear,
Yes.
I add the damage bonus to the damage that's listed for the weapon. So
yes, and you have the damage bonus for strength, and you have the damage bonus for agility, and they are listed at the top, below the stats, and the damage for the weapons are listed at the bottom of the first page of the character sheets.
Cool.
So damage plus damage bonus, and if you roll a dragon, then you can either double the damage, or you can ignore armor, or you can do one more thing. And if you roll a demon, bad things happen. Basically.
Cool.
And can someone assist for a roll, or?
Yes. If someone assists, if you make a good case for assisting another character, then you get a boon, which is advantage basically. So then you roll 2d20, and it can be a situation where you have a difficult situation where you do something and another character aids, so you get a boon, but you are doing it in, for example, noxious fumes emanating from the walls. Then you get a bane, and then the boon and the bane will cancel each other out. So if you have 2 boons and 1 bane, you end up with 1 boon at the end. And even if you have 2 boons from different circumstances, you only get to apply 1. So you can't say, well, 1 boon to we have 4 boons here. No, you can only have 1, but you can aid each other.
You don't have to be proficient in any what's the equivalent of D&D, the proficiency in any skill. It's a situational aid or assisted. It's a role-playing aspect.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So and basically, I think that the skill set is minimal, to say the least. It's I don't know. It's a 9 plus
16.
16 in total, and lots of those are combat skills. That's also playing with with the league, thinking that they want not that many skills. So also look at the skills and think of creative ways of applying them. Will be a good idea. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Let's start by reading the intro text that I've written for this adventure. We are playing the Riddermound, which is the starter adventure for the Quick Start rules. It's also as far as I'm aware, the first adventure that was written for this edition. And it's written by Andreas Marklund, who also has written things for Mutant and Cult and other such stuff. He's an accomplished writer in his own right of other things than the role-playing games. And he's the architect of the campaign that ties all the adventures from that are stretch goals in the Kickstarter together. And he's written this as an introduction, and it's called a Riddermound.
Cool.
Ancient records tell of a draconic empire that once spanned much of the known world, where the emperor's peace was upheld by cruel dragon-mounted knights. But the texts also contain traces of another great power from a different age, governed by demon princes who shrouded the world in madness and murderous rage. And they fought a mighty battle, and the world was lost in shadows and ruin. Remnants of these legendary realms still rest in the earth beneath your very feet. In the depths of the great forests and the chasms of the mountains slumber memories from ancient eras when those vicious beasts reigned. And in the ruins of their folly, many great treasures are hidden, all but forgotten, waiting for someone to find them and bring them forth for glory and ruin to all kin. You are adventurers, and you seek the lost treasures of old. Why do you do that? Because of greed, perhaps. Maybe a burning ambition to carve your name in the books of legends. Only you know, and frankly, only you care. Now your feet have taken you deep into the misty vale, where you have heard rumors of an ancient and valuable golden crown buried inside the Ridder Mound, the resting place of a long-forgotten warrior fallen in the service of his masters. You stand beneath a hill in the glade, looking up at a circle of standing stones. The place is strangely quiet, but you notice a faint and ominous odor, a putrid stench of rotten vegetables that wafts towards you from the top of the burial mound. So, brave adventurers, what is your pleasure today? And I think that we should start by telling the audience what kind of adventurers are standing beneath the hill. Makander of Half Bay, who are you?
I am the youngest son of a noble family of Malads. And I seek to protect the weak and punish the wicked. And I'm convinced that this golden crown will fund those circumstances. I have no desire for it myself, of course, but protecting the weak is a costly business. I'm quite out of coin, and blades need to be sharpened, torches need to be bought, all that sort of thing. So that's me.
That's Makander of Half Bay, Malad. Your friends also know that you are quick to anger, and you can be quite testy if anyone doubts your abilities. Archmaster Eodan, who are you?
So I am a tall, thin, elderly man of human extraction. And I am a powerful wizard. And you know that because I tell you all the time how powerful a wizard I actually am and repeat it frequently. You've seen me wield mighty magics by appearing out of smoke at opportune moments. So far, that's the only evidence of my sorcerer's powers you've seen. And I am here because, of course, the promise of elder magics draws me to this place. And I am interested in discovering whether there are any remnants of either the draconic or demonic empires. I'm an all opportunities employer of spells, so I don't mind what their basis. And I am crotchety. However, I am not as angry as the duck.
Nobody's as angry as I am.
Exactly. No, you're not as angry as the duck, although, unbeknownst to you, your fellow travelers have heard some rumors that sometimes destructive magic can erupt in your vicinities. Maybe uncontrollable, maybe just bad luck. You don't know. They don't know. Orla Moonsilver, who are you?
I am Orla Moonsilver. I'm elven huntress from the tropical forest of the south. She's very smooth and she's walking with this elven pride in her. She has clear eyes that look very suspiciously with scrutiny for everyone. She's wearing an earring crafted from a fang of a troll that attacked my village and slew my sister. So I keep it as a memento that I need to. Any minion of darkness will die by my arrows. So I keep it as a memento to always remind me of my goals.
And your companions might be a bit suspicious of an elf. Difficult to read, difficult to know what they are about. And since you have a very clear goal of slaying trolls and other minions of darkness, they can be a bit nervous around you. Chrisanna the Bold.
I am Chrisanna the Bold, and as the Archmaster likes to say, I am an asset retrieval specialist. I am such a specialist that I grew up in a small city in the West, but I'm such a specialist that I had to leave there rather quickly with quite a few people chasing me. But still, that's neither here nor there. Archmaster says we're going off and we're going to find some treasure, so I'm looking forward to that.
It can be a boon to have let us say, a person of skill with a sleight of hand. It can also be a bane if they can't keep their fingers to themselves. But so far, I don't think that your companions have noticed anything untowards. But I think they are often wary of where your fingers go. But then it's an asset, like you say.
I have a rule: never require assets from people who might save your life.
That is a good rule. That is a good rule, especially for a halfling, which depend on the Bigfoot and the people who might shield her from other monsters. Speaking of monsters, Baston Bloodjaw, you're not the common kin seen in the Misty Vale.
I'm no monster. I am Baston Bloodjaw. I am a young wolfkin warrior, come from the northern wastelands in search of work, joy, and the finer, thanks Andy, and the finer things in life. I'm tired of my people's tribal feuds, and I dream of something bigger and better. But since then, I've worked many jobs: mercenary, gladiator, guardsman, caravan escort, until I grouped up with this bunch of people. I'm scarred, I have bulging muscles, and I look menacingly at anyone who is my foe. Confident and arrogant, I also wear the finest wolfkin clothing, fragranced with beautiful perfumes, as naturally, scent is an important sense for me, and I have to smell good and right before I go into battle. I desire to defeat the most powerful enemies, and fleeing from a combat is a crime I shall never commit.
And that last part is something that often makes your friends a bit nervous. Will they be able to break off a battle they can't win, or will you stand there foolishly fighting against windmills? Well, we will see and we will find out. So these are our adventurers: a wolfkin, an halfling, an elf, a human, and a mallard. A motley bunch standing beneath a hill from where they can smell the stench of rotten vegetables and something else.
I think
What will you do?
I think back in the northern wastelands, we used to eat ducks, nice and
Well,
crispy, with some pancakes and finely diced vegetables and cucumber.
what I was going to say is what you call a rotten vegetable is what we Mallards call ripe. So this is a heavenly scent to me that we can smell from the top of this hill. And I am almost determined to go up to the top of the hill and find out what it is.
Hey, look, Makanda, you have a nose this long. I have a nose this long. Just think how much I can smell this. I'm taking out some of my perfume and trying to get a bit over the...
Yes.
This is just grim.
As a person who owns a dog, I have been subjected to the idea of scented poop bags, and that's something that is horrible. And that's sort of what you are smelling at the moment when you spray your perfume around. Your friends go.
I'm also familiar with scented poo bags.
Yes.
I think this is the distilled smell of the alpha wolfkin. That's the smell they're getting. But I haven't got to cock my leg to produce it.
Oh, it seems there is some rotten skunk behind the rotten vegetables. Ugh.
Never trust an elf.
A quick question: is my map shared? Can
Your
you
map
see it?
is ready to add to the stream.
Yes. So this is what you are looking up at: a circle of standing stones. From where you are standing now, you don't see the rock in the middle, the formation in the middle. So if you would like to walk up the hill, then this will be much clearer to you.
That's what we've come for.
As you make your way up the hill, the stench grows ever stronger. And as you step into the circle, you can see that the square slab of rock in the middle is some sort of trap door, what you call it, but it's been opened. And that's where the smell is coming from.
Mm-hmm. As I step, I don't step into the circle. The others may rush ahead, but I pay my respects to each of these stones with a small bow, for they must be great warriors and noblemen of the past before I enter within.
They're just stones, Makanda. What are you doing? I'm obviously going forward with my spear across me in front just to... I am the brave warrior and need to protect everybody here. So,
is there any inscription on the stones?
Yes, you can see faint inscriptions. Might be motifs that have been made illegible by the years, but there's some time long ago. There used to be pictures on these stones, but you can't see what they are now. But what you can see, Orla, is tracks in the grass, clear footprints leading towards the hole in the ground and leading away from the stones. There seems to have been sort of like a chaotic dance or a chaotic route here.
Can I identify which track are they? Humanoids, orcs, or trolls?
If you make a successful survival roll, so you take your d20 and you roll against survival, which is 12.
If you roll the same as your skill, does that count as a success?
Yes, same or below.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
As a 10, you expertly deduce that this is wolf tracks, and you even find wolf droppings, and then you see goblin tracks.
Oh.
There have been wolf riders here, and it seems as if they've gone down into the mound, and it seems as if they've come up in a great hurry.
Oh, so they're moving out of the trapdoor.
Yes, as far as you can tell, the most recent tracks are moving away in great hurry from the mound.
Is there any blood or anything? Blood trails coming out?
No, not that you see. Not that you smell, actually. You can't smell. But as you get closer to the hole in the ground, the slab, you can smell excrement and a strong sense of animal droppings in the cave below.
I'll relay that to the others.
I'm surprised you can smell anything over the stench of your perfume. But
someone shit themselves down there.
One thing that you noticed is that as soon as you stepped into the circle, the sound of the forest around you sort of was more quiet. So it's sort of like more silent inside the stone circle than it is outside. Not an uncommon effect of stone circles. The magician can tell you that.
So, what is the actual scent that Baston generates when they use the perfume? Is it actually the smell of effectively wet dog?
I think it probably is, yeah. But it's alpha dog. It's wet alpha dog. Get that
wet alpha dog. Excellent. Hey, Baston. Can you give me I hold out a piece of cloth and go, can you whiff that up with your perfume?
I'll check to make sure I've got plenty in the bottle, and if there's enough in there, okay, like.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to make.
You want to smell like me? That's a good.
No, I want to smell something other than excrement. So I will go with the
wet dog.
It's a hard choice. It's a balance, but I'm going with wet dog.
I'm going to give him a little behind the ears as well. No, he likes my. You like my smell.
Yeah, no. It's all about making friends and influencing people.
I'll lick him on the cheek in a friendly gesture.
All right.
Get a room, guys.
Can I, noting that the trapdoor has been levered open and the stones have some sort of magical effect, is there anything particularly important about that? Like, is the door actually just leave it open? Does it look like they did something to get the door to open? I'm just checking in case we need to close the door in a hurry at some point in the future. It might be of value to work out how it's opening and closing.
What you can see from examining the slab is that it has been simply pushed aside enough to allow entrance for a goblin, for example, or maybe a halfling. But if someone larger wanted to go down into the darkness, whatever they would want to do that, then you would have to just push it more open. But that's the only thing that you need to do. You need to just push it. There's no magical ritual. There are no elaborate
can go down then.
Yes.
There's space for Krizana. Off you go. Go and have a look.
Before we do this,
the halfling on a rope into the black hole to see if anything bites. Maybe we should just push the stone open so we can all easily gain access to the hole.
I was going to say, while they're all discussing and putting perfume on, Kristana has laid down on her belly and sort of shuffled over, and she stuck her head down the hole, and she's laying there just looking down the hole to see if she can see anything. It's not worth smelling anything because it all smells of poo, but
Yeah.
can she see? Can she see or hear anything down there?
It's a dark shaft going down about 2 by 2 meters, which is what is it? 5 by 5. No, it's 7 by 7 feet. 6 feet. 6 by 6 feet. And it's a square shaft going down into the darkness. You can't see to the bottom, but you can hear something down there. Some sort of clanging noise. Just once. And then it stops. And you can smell the musty smell. This time intermingled with something that smells like death.
And is there a rope or a rope ladder going down?
No.
I have a rope.
I have a torch.
Yeah. Kristana gets up and says, well, I've got a rope because there's no ladder and it's really dark and there's something down the bottom. So which one of you lot's going first then?
So hold on, is the shaft straight down or is it like a tunnel going down? Because wolves were going down this hole. Like, I don't know if anyone else noticed.
The wolves would probably not have gone down. The goblins.
Right, so they floated around the outside.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Probably knowing goblins, probably some goblins stayed up with the wolves, and the expedition went down, and then came up in a hurry.
I don't fear darkness or their minions.
If we're all going down, we need to tie the end of this rope to something. If one of us is going down, I suggest it is a fighter, such as myself or Baston.
I will not leave you go alone.
I'm not going to let you go and fight the bad guy. I've got to fight the most terrifying foe, not you.
I
we
bow
can do it
deeply
together.
to you, Baston.
We can do it together. That's fine.
Yeah, but one of us has got to go down first, is what I'm saying.
And one of you will have to carry a torch. Or maybe two of you will have to carry a torch.
Okay, I'm going to light my torch then.
Okay.
But I'm assuming my spear is a two-handed weapon.
Let's see. It says so. If it's
it is. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yes.
It's on the character sheet. Yeah.
Long spear.
Yeah.
Mohammed, you were saying?
I'm also lighting the torch and holding my knife.
Okay, good.
Somebody else needs to carry my torch for me.
Krista is going to light her torch and drop it down the hole.
Okay.
And I'll give you my torch, Chrisana.
I've got one. It's all right.
We've just thrown it down the hole.
No, but what
I had one.
What Baston is saying is you can hold the torch that Baston
Having
has
thrown
lit,
yours down. Yeah.
having also thrown yours down.
Because I need two hands to wield my spear, so I can't carry the torch as well.
You drop your torch into the shaft and it falls straight down into a cave.
But, back in the northern wastelands, when you get this kind of smell, you get a gas that kind of goes boom if you put a flame in it. I'm stepping back from the edge of the hole.
Luckily enough, the slab has been open for a while, venting out the nitrous and flammable fumes.
Do you want me to roll to see if the torch goes out?
No, it
Okay.
stays burning, and you see that it lands quite softly on the earthen floor below. You can see white spots of something white on the floor here and there, and you can also see footprints, same footprints as at the top of the mound. So goblins have been down there. It's silent, but now at least you can see that there's a cave down there.
And how far down is it, do we think?
Not that far, 15 feet.
There you go, boys. All nice and safe. Here's me rope.
Can we get a... is the rope long enough to tie it to one of the stone pillars and then have it reach down?
Yes.
Excellent. I will do that.
Yep. So you lower the rope down and you stand there looking at each other. Who will go first into the darkness?
Aston has claimed the first right.
Orla immediately jump. She doesn't wait for anyone. She immediately jump in.
Okay, Orla jumps down with the rope. Then you roll for mobility to see if you climb down safely. And since you have a rope, you roll with the boon. So you roll 2d20 and choose the best one, which is the lowest.
Yeah, the first
so
one.
All we need to do now, guys, is push the slab back over the top, and we succeeded in our mission, which was killing the elf. Yeah.
3. I got 3.
Okay, you nimbly drop down using the rope, and what do your friends do?
I'll follow behind.
You follow behind. Okay, make a roll.
Mobility.
Yes.
Okay. Is that with the boon as well for the rope?
Yes. Let's see if I'm using the correct words here. Boon and bane.
Yeah, it is. I think. So
Yes,
I got
okay.
3 and a 4. So 3
Yes.
is my best
So
result.
you quickly land next to the elf. And do the rest of you follow suit?
Well, before we follow suit, I will yell out, can you see any goblins? Or, I don't know, crawling things, dead things?
No.
Shush. We are sneaking.
But when you hear the Archmaster Aodan shouting down, you look up to tell him, no, there are no goblins here. You see that the ceiling is moving.
Moving. As in, is it coming down on us, or is it moving sideways, or
rippling?
Okay.
Sort
Rolling
of like a
with
ripple.
Things are crawling upon it.
Exactly.
Can I bear my torch to see what's crawling in the walls?
Yes, you put your torch towards the ceiling, and you see that it is full with bats. Sleepy bats, but bats that seem to be waking up from the noise. And you realize that the smell and the white stuff on the floor is bat droppings. And let's see now if the Archmage can succeed on a learning skill.
All right.
Roll.
What are the chances? 10! Yes!
You do. Okay. You do know that these kind of bats can be quite ferocious. They are called vampire bats. And if disturbed, they will swarm.
Right, so I clank up to the hole in my plate armor and roll my dice to go down the rope.
So I yell out at the top of my voice because I'm not I know what makes the bats activate. I'm not necessarily the wisest person when it comes to not activating them, though. So at the top of my voice, I yell down the shaft as Mikander is clanking side to side on the shaft on the way down. Don't make any loud noises. It could make the bats become violent. It's just a suggestion.
Can I try some? I don't know if this could happen or not. Can I use my animal kinship to befriend one of the bats and just calm the other bats to become my companion?
Tell his mates to calm down.
It's an interesting take, and I will quickly read your description. I will just quickly also show you
sing an elfin lullaby.
The map. There you go. This is where you are. You are sort of in the middle of this room, and you see double doors as well. Let's see. So what Orla is trying to do is to use her
animal kinship
talent, and that is you can roll a survival. No, you can also use the ability to turn an animal, not a monster, and unfortunately, these are monsters.
Okay.
But it was a good idea still. And as Archmaster Aidan so astutely observed, shouting down that people should be quiet at the same time as a mallard in a full plate armor rattles down the rope, finally wakes up the bats, stirring them into action. First, I want to have Matthew roll for not falling down the rope.
I have rolled, and I have rolled just the one dice because my plate armor gives me a bane to mobility rolls, and I believe a bane cancels out the boon.
Yeah.
Luckily, my one dice is 10, which is my
disappointed.
mobility. So just about make it.
You land on the floor as the bats start swarming. Okay, let's see now. We have do we have everyone except Archmaster Aidan in the cave?
I haven't gone down yet.
No, you haven't. Okay. So
I was waiting for the fighters to get down there first.
Oh, that's always a good idea.
Quietly.
It was fine until Aidan started screaming.
Normally, we would.
I liked you a minute ago. You smelled good, but I don't like you so much anymore.
Normally, we would now draw for initiative, but since this is an online game, I haven't sort of figured out how to do that. So I will simply have you roll d20, and then we will go from top to bottom.
I got a 2.
I got a 6.
2.
A 5.
Okay.
I have also got a 5.
I got 20.
20. Okay. Very good. Very good. So let's start with the 20 then.
Okay. Did Mahanda make it all the way down to the bottom?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
he
I'm
did.
fine.
He stands firmly on the ground, brandishing his
Sword
axe.
drawn, I think.
Sword.
I think sword for bats.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. In that case, being a little bit stupid, he's going to try and climb down the rope.
Okay. Yes.
So 2d20, and I rolled a 12 and a 1. So I'll take the 1 if you don't mind.
Absolutely, and that is a dragon, which would mean that if this would be in a campaign, you would get to mark experience, and the only thing that happens now is that you use one hand and just slide down elegantly, landing.
You're pole dancing as you come down.
Yes, it's extremely impressive. So impressive that your friends just stops for a while and just, that was so cool. But
This is why we
unfortunately,
hired the thief.
the bats don't care. And it is their turn after the halfling. I will, since you did roll a dragon, I will allow you to do one more thing in the cave because it's a cool thing that you did. Roll a dragon. So, is there anything else you would want to do?
You're muted, Paul.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you. I will. Can I see? Can I see the doors with the two statues? I will scramble over quickly to the two doors.
Yes. You are all in a dome, except Aeodon. You are in a dome-shaped chamber with a floor of beaten earth. In the darkness, the opening to the surface looks like a faintly glowing square. In the north wall is a set of double oak doors with iron fittings. A silvery symbol stretches across both doors, which are flanked by statues of knights in antique armor. Antiquated armor. So that's what you see. And you also notice that the doors are slightly ajar. Someone seems to have opened them before you arrived. Okay, so the bats. And now we get to a new thing with Drakar Octomona or Dragonbane. And this used to be a straight basic role-playing game, which means that monsters and NPCs and PCs all follow the same rules. The Free League have a sort of a different take on that, and if you are familiar with the Year Zero engine, you will know that they have something called monster attacks. So what happens?
Attacks.
Yeah. Exact. So what happens now is that I have here a table with 6 entries for the vampire bats, not the giant spider. Vampire bats here with 3 entries. Sorry for that. But I roll a d6 to see which one of these are in effect. And as an added bonus, I don't roll to hit. So a monster attack always hits. This is balanced by you regaining hit points quite quickly. So if you take a 15-minute rest, a stretch, then you regain 1d6.
1d6, isn't it?
Yes, and also willpower and things like that. And if you rest for a shift, which is longer, then you recover everything. 6 hours is that. So it's quite difficult, not quite dangerous to just push, and you will take damage. And we'll see what happens here. Incidentally, this scenario was play tested this Saturday at a celebration of the 40th year of this game, and it resulted in a TPK.
Oh, thanks for that.
Tell us now, Magnus.
That's a
shame. Into this effect live play.
Mass attack. The bats split up and attack all characters within 10 meters. Each victim suffers D8 slashing damage.
No.
Does that include?
We roll our own damage, or are you going to roll that for us?
I will roll that for you, and I will roll once for every one of you. Wait, no, you get individual here. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, if people haven't had their go, can they dodge?
Let's see here. Monster attacks cannot be. No, they can be dodged. Good, Paul. Thank you. Monster attacks. There we go. Monster attack can be dodged but not parried. Yes, you are allowed to use up your action and dodge. So does anyone want to do that?
So
What
the question
skill
I have is,
does
am
dodge
I
come
going-
under?
Mobility.
Mobility, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Is Aedan going in within? So I'm up the shaft. I'm
You're
within
still
10
up the
meters,
shaft,
right?
so you will not be attacked
Right. Excellent.
by the bats.
I don't think dodging is a thing that Makanda does very often.
No.
So
I don't think, and I think Baston seeing Makanda not dodging, I can't dodge if he doesn't dodge.
So I'm guessing that Krisanna will want to try to dodge.
I can't because I've had my go.
No. Yes, you have. I'm sorry. Yes, you have.
Ola, Mohammed, are you dodging?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So
God, they're brave.
Makanda, you take 5 slashing damage. But
How does armor apply? Yeah.
exactly. But armor applies.
yes.
So you have armor 6. If I'm
So I
right.
have armor 6.
Exactly. So they just slash at your shining knight's armor.
Okay.
Baston.
Oh, I see. So that just damage reduction then.
Yes, exactly. That's just damage reduction. So Baston, you take 3 points of damage.
Okay, so I take 1 with my armor. Thank you,
Yes. And Orla, and Krisanna, you take 7 points. They seem to be really mad at you.
I've only got 1 armor.
Jealous
So
of the
6
perfect
points
landing.
go through. And Orla, they give you 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
Okay, I took 7. Okay.
Okay. And that means that, let's see now, just for everyone watching and listening, that means that Krisanna is down to half, basically. And let's see, Orla is also, sort of half. So that was quite a hit. We'll see if we get to the death rules soon. Duck did not duck. Thanks, Christian. That means that we are going from 17 initiative to what's the next in line? I thought I heard some 5s here.
I had 6.
6. Okay, so Baston.
Is there one of these that looks like the alpha of the...
No, they all look like a cauldron.
They're a
of
swarm.
bats. They're
Yeah.
a swarm.
Okay, I'm going to use my move to back towards the door,
Yep.
and then I'm going to swing my spear through the swarm and try and cut some of them down.
Yes.
So that's spears, which is 14. Okay, I rolled a 20.
You rolled a 20. That's cool because then we get to check the demon rules here.
The first TPK.
Break your weapon.
TPK, here we come.
Here we go.
This is where I drop it. It flies up the shaft and takes Arden through the head.
Let's see now. Let's see now. Where do we have the rules for that? Basically, what you do is you miss, and it's called you cannot push this roll, and yes, we must not forget that you are able to push rolls as well. Damage. Let's go to damage. There we go. I know it's in here somewhere, but I can't find it at the moment. So we'll say that you miss, and you cannot attack next round, and that's just a call from me. That's not according to the rules, but I can't seem to find them now. Next person in line. After 6, we have a 5.
There were 2 5s.
2 5s.
I was a 5.
Okay, let's start with you then.
After you,
Okay.
Makanda. After you, buddy.
Right. So I'm going to shout, Everyone get out of the room. I'm sure the wizard is going to cast a fireball down here. And I, too, am backing towards the door as the wolfkin did, swinging my sword to try and take down as many bats as I can while
Yes. So you swing your sword and move towards the door.
Go on, roll a demon, Matt.
I'm here. What, just because you did?
Yeah.
No, I roll a safe 4.
Okay, you hit and you deal damage.
And that's 1d10 plus 1d4. Uh, 8 in total.
Okay. And then we have Aedan. And now I will note a rule from the initiative regarding initiative is that if you so choose and the other player accepts, you can swap initiatives. If that player character has not yet performed his or her action.
Talking to you, Mohammed.
Exactly. So you two could switch so that Orla gets to move first and maybe get out of the way.
Nice.
This actually seems wise to me. I think you should do that, Orla. After
Yeah.
So Orla, you shout a bit, and then Orla goes before Aedan.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Is this an Edan's just shouted, incoming! Or fire in the hole!
Four.
Literally.
I just also do a backflip and go to the doors near Makander and Bastian.
Yep.
And I switch to my my longbow and I will fire one.
Yeah, absolutely. You fire into the swarm.
Bloody arrogant elves. It's the same as on the Rings of Power.
Okay, so marksmanship. Okay. It's a 1.
Ooh, okay. Then you do double damage, which means that you roll your basic damage dice twice, and then you add your strength bonus once. No, your agility bonus once.
Okay, so 2d6 first for the damage of the longbow. First one is 3. 4, so it's a total of 7, and the damage 8.
So total of 8.
Yeah.
And the bats are dropping like, not like flies, but like bats basically. But
Like
you
bats.
have decimated the swarm quite significantly. Although it seems that certainly half of the bats are still there, flying around, chittering and slashing at you. Quite confused and quite angry and not really focused, but they are lashing out at anyone within range. Aedan, what is your...
Okay, so Aedan, reflects on many life choices that he's made that's gotten him to this point, contemplates pulling the slab over the top and moving away from the entire debacle, decides no, the halfling's down there, and I feel some ownership of the halfling.
Ownership.
Yeah. I did note a comment about Joe Abercrombie's books, and I thought, I know a wizard that I could base my character on. That loving, kind, generous wizard that features
that lovely man.
Yeah, that lovely man. However, so I have 2 very simple questions.
Yes.
1, in meters, how far is the shaft to the ground from where
5.
I'm standing? Right, perfect. 2, can I see the swarm from the top of the shaft, noting there were torches glittering in the floor?
You can see a chaotic mess of shadows and flittering bats, and
All right.
yes, you can see movement and
So, unlike D&D,
Animals.
the fireball appears to be a single target attack. However, gust of wind is not.
okay.
And if ever there was an opportunity to throw gust of wind at a bunch of monsters and see if they splatter on the floor, this is that one. So I will cast gust of wind from the top of the shaft straight down, blasting the swarm away as I do not attempt to go down the rope at the same time. Tempted though I was to do both at the same time. I was
Okay. So you should now roll a d20 below
against
your
my
magic school.
elementalism.
Exactly.
All right.
And
I roll a 13, which is one below my skill level.
okay.
Which means it goes off.
Your friends hear the mystic mutterings of Aedan, the Archmage, and you are not sure whether or not your world will suddenly explode or if something else will happen. And what happens is that the mage summons a mighty gust of wind that pushes you towards the door and even through the door because it was open. So you get pushed and you open the door more and fall into the corridor behind the door. And you see the bats, and you should now roll.
Now, I should have declared my power level before I cast, shouldn't I?
And that's okay. So what power level would you want to?
I'm going to go for 2 power levels, so that'll cost me 4 willpower.
Yep.
And that means I will do a D, same amount of bludgeoning damage.
So two.
It's a D3. D3 away from you per power level. I assume.
Yeah, exactly. But small objects are hurled 2d6 meters away from you, and I would rule that the bats, as individual bats, are small creatures. So that would mean 2d6.
Yep. Okay. 8 points.
And it's per
power level. So another.
Yes.
7. 15 points of damage.
Ooh, nice.
So you, I'm not really sure about the writing of the spell. It's a bit ambiguous, but we'll go with this. And you summon this wind, and you push your friends through the door, double door that you can't see. You shower them with bats as well, but you also shower the walls with bats, and the few surviving poor bats flitter out of the shaft and away into the forest.
Victory!
Silent. But Aedan, you cannot see your friends, and the torch has gone out. So really what you guys see is
nothing.
Nothing. So
now, there's many the time I have lit my pipe in the dark, and so the first thing that my friends see is the spark of my flint and steel, and and then the glowing orange coals of my pipe light up my yellow beak, and I say, "Victory!"
Smoking is bad for you, Duck.
A small light lights up, and you Aedan, hear from the top your duck friend, your mallard friend, croak something about victory, and did you light a pipe?
I did light my pipe. Yeah.
So
it's
you
my
can
only
smell
possession.
tobacco.
That and a flint and steel. Yeah.
Okay. So, it's your is it your special memento thing?
Let me just check. I don't think it's a special memento. I think it's just a pipe. I only bring the essential equipment when adventuring.
Okay.
I
So
should
will
relight my
you?
torch then.
It is my memento. It's a gift from my
sort of
father.
figured that. Eodan, will you go down into the mound?
I
or
will. I
will.
will now that
Yep.
it's clearly safe and they've activated the trap. Move down the road. I'm rolling 2d20, yes, against mobility.
And choose the best.
5 or a 6. I'll take the 5 because
You take the
it's
5.
a nicer number.
So you definitely lower yourself to the ground, and you look into the cave, and you see the circular room, and then you see the open door where your friends are sort of getting themselves up to their feet. Makander has lit a pipe and is standing there huffing the pipe, and Baston is lighting a torch that has gone out.
So is there a torch on the ground at my feet?
Yes.
Because there was one dropped, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much we're playing the action economy at this point, but I'll pick up the torch and flick my fingers at it, and it'll ignite.
Oh, okay. Some magic there. Did it ignite?
Well, I'm about to roll to find out. Of course, this will be where I roll the 20. 18! Yes,
No,
it's a fail!
It's a fail.
It's a fail.
And you subtract 1 willpower still.
I do, yep.
It happened to the best of us. Don't worry about it.
Adam, why are you clicking your fingers at that torch?
Right.
What are you doing?
I'm getting timing.
So So as you said, Thomas, we're not bothering with it. We are going out of initiative order.
Right.
So what you see now that you're standing here is the antechamber, the first one, the big circular room, the dome-shaped chamber, and the doors were flanked by 2 statues of knights in antiquated armor, and you also saw a silver symbol stretched across both doors, and that is now sort of broken now that the doors have opened up. So that's what you see there, and you can also see footprints and drag prints on the floor, probably from the goblins.
May I just ask one quick question? So
Absolutely.
the 2 statues,
Yep.
am I able to ascertain whether this was a burial ground of the Draconic Empire or the Demonic Empire?
You
By looking
would
at the armor and stuff of the people.
You would guess that this is a dragon knight that is buried here. Judging from the symbol on the door, when you see that it's some sort of dragon shape. And if you make a successful learning roll, I can tell you a little bit more.
A 13. So yes,
okay.
Success is mine.
It's a stylized crown. And this crown is indeed from the ancient time when the Misty Vale was ruled by a mighty dragon worshipping kingdom. So they worshipped dragons instead of gods.
Well, what have gods ever done for us?
Exactly. And the rest of you guys and girls, you see a dark, damp tunnel through packed earth that branches off in different directions, and that is these tunnels here. The air is chilly and filled with musty smells. Not the smell of bat droppings.
Guano.
That strong. Guano is not that strong here, but you see slithering roots, worms, and centipedes are hanging from the ceiling, and also make the ground a bit slippery.
Something for the mallard to eat.
And you also see a small room. That's a small circular room to the north of you. with a floor of beaten earth, the flickering light of a torch streams through a black iron portcullis in the far wall, and 2 mummified guards with rusted chainmail and long spears flank the barred gate. And here we have the classic mistake of the game master not remembering that there was a light source on the other side of the portcullis. I included that, of course, to give this sort of authentic feel, old school feel. So, someone, when you lit your pipe, Makander, something else lit a torch in the other room. Let's say that.
That's more frightening.
So, what do you want to do? What do you?
Well, I guess me and Chrisana, we need something to. We need healing.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm a bit knacked. Anybody can heal?
I can lick your wounds to clean them, but that's about all.
Is
Are
that
you
a
coming
special
out at
ability
me?
you have?
No, it's just my healing of 5. It's just what we do in the Wolfkin world. That's why we all die.
I like to be dying first before somebody's licking me.
Yeah. Father did hire a tutor to turn me into a doctor, but I much preferred the adventuring life, and so I'm afraid that my skills are rather minimal in that respect as well.
Also, healing requires rest, and if you want to heal now, you will have to take a rest of a stretch, which is about 15 minutes. And I'm not saying that you're not allowed to do that, but you will have to decide if you want to do it here or above ground.
I must admit, I would rather, if any 15-minute stretch of rest was taken, to investigated the light that appeared ominously through that door.
Yes.
Just as I lit my pipe.
Okay. Oops. While Orla and Chrisana is standing there looking over their wounds and figuring out how can we get them to actually do something about this, Makander and Baston looks through the portcullises. They position themselves right in the middle of the 2 mummified guardians.
We'll keep an eye on them.
Oh, when you say it like that.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. What you can see on the other side of the portcullis is a small room. Let's see now. Let's go there. A smaller. It's a room, and with a table and a big chair set by the table. And in the chair sits another figure. A small room with an oak table in the middle and burning torches on the walls, who mysteriously lit up as soon as you lit your pipe. A mummified woman in gilded chainmail is sitting at the far end of the table. An iron-fitted oak door behind the mummy bears an ancient symbol in glittering silver, and that Eodan is the same symbol as on the double doors.
So 2 things. Do I recognize the symbols specifically? Like, does it have a particular meaning? Can I read it?
No.
It's just a symbol. Okay,
it's just a symbol. It's just something that is. You have read descriptions about this kind of symbol, and it's basically sort of like a symbol to show allegiance to one side, which is the dragon side.
Yep.
Basically.
And then the other question is, how badly wounded are you, Christina, in comparison to your normal hit points? Because I'm like a soft, squishy bag of hit points, and so I don't know what that number looks like for you.
Well, I've only got 13 in total, and I've taken 6 damage. So I'm not well at all. I'm about half.
And to put that into perspective, when you reach 0 hit points, you fall down, and you are allowed 3. You are allowed death rolls, and if you fail 3 death rolls, you die. So you do not die immediately when you reach 0, and you do not, in these quick start rules at least, you do not suffer a critical wound like in Forbidden Lands, for example.
Yeah.
Also, when you are down at 0 hit points, you can rally, or someone else can rally you, so you can stand up and continue fighting at 0 hit points. That's dangerous, though, since every hit you take when you are at 0 hit points is a failed death save.
Okay. Yeah.
Does getting the dragon count as 2 saves if you rolling a death roll? If you
That
get a
is
1.
That is correct.
Okay.
And the demon is 2 failed rolls.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me just check one thing before I death. You roll against your constitution score. So, for example, Krisanna, you would want to roll below 13 or below. Yes.
Yeah.
And you would want to roll 3 successful rolls. Then you would recover D6 hit points. And then you can start to act as normal again. So you don't fall dead at 0, but you have a risk of dying. So just as a game master, I would say that you do not have to be very worried about dying now. An attack that would put you down to 0 would maybe put you down to 0 even if you rested now.
Excellent, thank you. I will not use my healing skill on either of these companions then, because obviously, no.
Because the healing skill is only used while resting.
Correct, but aren't they resting?
Yeah.
Aren't Christina and all
No.
resting?
Yes, if you want to, it is. If you want to,
No. It's
15
below me.
minutes.
I'm not going to help them if I don't need to. I was just checking in to see how desperate it was. Don't open the gate until these two have rested a bit.
One more thing I need to mention about the mummified corpse sitting at the table is that the corpse's hand is resting on a beautiful sword with a ruby set in the hilt. A ruby that flickers as if it contains a flame.
So I turn my back to the rest of the crowd and I say, well, none of us are going to want that magic sword, are we?
I don't.
Swords are heathen weapon. Spears. That's what cultured people fight with.
Or battle axes.
Spears.
So, what is the plan? I suggest that an armed mummy knight is not something we want to do. I'm turning now towards these two corridors to the left and right of where we are. Shall we see if we can find a safe place to rest along one of those?
Whilst he's doing that, I'm going to take the bars of this portcullis and see if I can lift it.
Yes, you quickly realize that the portcullis is rusted shut, and it is not possible for you to open them. There is a lock.
Superb strength of 18.
There's a lock, but it is rusted through. Let's see. You're 18 in strength.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we can find here. Torches north. Guardhouse. You think... Ooh. I'm gonna make a call. I'm actually going to go back to my DMing experience, where once I denied the climb roll because the walls were unclimbable, and that's been a source of lots of amusement among my players. So I will say that I will allow you to try to break them open, but you will have to do so with the Bane.
Yep.
And you will not only, but you will inflict damage on them. You won't just break them open, but you will sort of start breaking them open, and you will have to succeed a couple of those rolls.
Okay, I'll give it the first good yank to try and move it upwards.
Yeah.
Okay, 12 was my worst result.
Okay, so you grab this, and your adventuring friends quickly turn towards you as you grab and wrench, pull at this portcullis, and it makes a lot of sound. You do manage to get it up a little bit, but then
I can open this. I can open this.
You can open this. But
I
you
thought
also
we'd agreed
hear,
that we weren't going to open it.
you hear something else answering the noise of the portcullis. Something coming from one of the corridors that leads into
Lava
the room.
Bastion.
And it sounds like a scraping sound, sort of like something is scraping a sword against the rock wall.
It's
Something
getting
that
closer.
sounds, yes, it sounds like heavy footsteps slowly walking towards you.
I'm going to take my throwing spear, and I'm going to be ready to throw it through the bars at this thing when it comes around the corner.
Okay, let's roll for initiative.
17.
17.
14.
14, okay.
13.
13.
Three.
Okay, then we have...
I like the cards where the lowest numbers go first.
Yeah. What you hear is something walking purposefully up these corridors. This corridor that I'm trying to... I'm doing that with the mouse.
So
there.
the one safely behind the portcullis, you mean?
You are safely behind the portcullis, yes. And what you hear is not unlike the sound of Makanda when he's trying to be sneaky.
Plate armor.
I can be very sneaky sometimes.
You can be, but sometimes you can't. That's the first action of the monster. And the thing here, as we are going through the rules, is that monsters in Dragonbane have something called speed, which means that they can make several actions per round. So they get several initiative slots.
Yeah.
And for example, this monster has 2 in speed. So it will act one more time during this round, but not before Baston and Aodan. Did you get 17, both of you?
I got 16.
16?
Orla 17.
Orla 17. So Baston and Orla, which one of you will want to go first?
You first, Wolfman.
Can I see this thing yet?
Yes, let's say that you wait for a couple of seconds and you do see a knight, huge warrior in ancient plate mail with a horned great helm. The visor is open, revealing a grim skeleton face with empty eye sockets. It moves slowly out through the corridor and starts walking towards the portcullis. It has a sword in its hand. No, it has a morning star in its hand. Huge freaking morning star, which it drags on the floor, which is the sound that you heard.
Yeah.
Iron against rock and earth.
So I'm gonna take a step back with my throwing spear ready. I just want to be out of range of his morning spear for him sticking it through the bars. And I'm going to spend 3 of my willpower on hunting instincts. As a wolfkin, I could designate a creature in sight or a creature that you want to track the scent of as prey. It counts as an action, so that would be my action. But I can follow the scent of your prey for a day, and I can spend further willpower to gain a boon for an attack.
Yes.
So I'm going to spend 3 willpower on activating that, and that'll be my action.
Okay. Orla.
I'm growling as I do that, I think.
I guess I'm not in his range yet. I'm far away from it.
You can move up so that you come in range.
Yeah. Yes. I'll be in the least range that I can fire my arrow, so it's around 50, and I will strike an arrow.
Okay, so you move up and you push Makander aside a bit, and so you can get in next to the fighters, and you see this horrible Death Knight walking towards you.
Yeah. I got an 8, so it's a success.
Okay.
2d6.
Yes.
8 and 4.
12. You. I'm just gonna find myself a pen here. You put an arrow.
We seem to have lost Matt.
Oh.
I suspect he's just gone to the toilet or something and taken himself out.
Yep.
I didn't push Makander that much.
No, exactly. He disappeared from the face of the earth. You deal him damage, but he has armor.
Sure.
Which soaks, and you can also see that his dried flesh doesn't seem to take damage like a living being would.
Okay.
Then there's Archmage Aeodon.
You're muted, Thomas.
Thank you. Quick question.
Yes.
Dragon Knights, even dead Dragon Knights, sound vaguely like they might be fireproof. Could I make a learning roll to know whether they're fireproof or not?
Yes.
Okay. Before I go, no, I can't make a learning roll. Oh no, I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it.
First push.
Yep. First push.
Yep.
And I'm going to push scared. Yeah, that seems.
Yes,
legit.
you're scared. That's good.
Oh, hold on. If I tick scared, then I won't be able to push my spellcasting rolls.
Oh no, so it's a better dirty would be good, for example, charisma.
But it's thematically on.
Scared is the right one to do, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm doing it.
Okay, you're doing it. You're doing it. Okay.
Yep, scared. It's the right one thematically. Okay, I'm rolling again.
The wrong one for,
And it's a 19. Thus.
Oh no!
It's another failure. You're right.
Even more scared.
I'm even more scared than I was a second ago.
But you can't remember.
I don't know. Oh my god, I don't know. In which case, I will go with my motivation, which is I both love and fear fire, and throw a fireball at said Death Knight.
Throw a fireball. You crowd up to the portcullis.
Oh no, I don't do that. I'm gonna have it fly around the heads of the people who are in the way and smash it. Like, I'm not putting myself anywhere near the Death Knight. And look, if a failure occurs and something bad was to happen to someone else, that's just how the world works, right?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it's a sad state.
Stop wishing for demons.
Yeah, that's right. So elementalism.
Yes.
I reckon Death Knights warrant. What do I do for damage? D6. 2 levels of power. So I'm going to spend 4 willpower points, and let's see what we roll. A 3. That's
very good.
Better.
Very good.
Better. So 2d6 damage.
Yes.
From the fire. And it's 7 points of damage from fireballs.
And what I am not really sure is whether or not magic ignores armor.
What does it say? Magic and iron?
I would say that fire ignores armor because your plate gets very hot.
Yes. I would also say that, actually. And that will be my ruling, even though it might be incorrect. What you see is that he is tinder dry. So fire is not his preferred
attack.
So 7, you say?
7, yep.
Yes.
And then if he catches fire, which it looks like he's about to,
Yeah.
I will, of course, say, yes, my learning has shown that these dragon knights are actually particularly vulnerable to fire, which I knew before I cast the spell.
Your friends stop and are impressed by your knowledge.
Exactly.
I'm not.
The next second, they are terrified, because what happens is that the Death Knight steps up to the portcullis and steps through.
Steps through the portcullis.
Seemingly ignoring the rusted iron. He's now pushing towards you. And this next round, he is in contact with you. That throws a bit of a spanner in the works, maybe. Krisanna, are you next?
I am, 13. I am getting the hell out of Dodge. I'm going to move back into the hallway.
Yeah.
On watch. And so a move's free, isn't it? And I'll in that case, I will happily swap my initiative with anyone who's less than 13. Like Macanda.
Very well, because I do have initiative of 3, and so lifting my axe in my hand, that damn wolfkin messing with things he doesn't understand, and now I have to sort it out.
And then you attack, I suppose.
Then I will stride up to it because I've walked away from the bloody gate.
Yes. There's a bit of a crowd there, but you can walk up to him, and he's now standing in the midst of you, of your party.
And with my battle axe, I will roll to hit, and I get a 6.
That's a hit.
That is a hit, and my damage is 2d8 plus 4. So I have 2d8 here, and a 4 there, and I roll 5, 7, 12.
You can tell by experience that his plate armor soaks a great deal of your damage. but some of it gets through. Not as much as you hoped. And it is now Krisanna's turn. And I would like to now also say that if you would want to use both your actions, you use your move action, and you can also use your action to do a dash. So then you can move double.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to move right out of that area back into the hallway behind us, and I'm just going to watch this. The this fighting stuff's for the big boys.
That seems like a good idea. Top of the round.
So I now stay on 13. Is that the case?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, it's interesting because I've got one of my abilities. It says if you activate this ability at the start of a round, you can keep your initiative card instead of drawing a new one.
Oh yes, sorry. We're supposed to roll new initiative.
Thank you.
So I am going to spend a point to keep my 17.
Yes, do so. And I'll roll for the Death Knight.
Is it just one willpower point, that one?
Yep, and it doesn't take an action.
I've got a 9.
4. Orla?
9.
9. Baston 17.
Yep.
Aidan?
5.
5.
5.
Krisanna?
17.
17 again.
The people watching can't see this, but a few of us just putting our rolls in private chat, if that's any help.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Yes, I see that now. Oh, that's what the numbers mean. Okay, very clever. Very clever.
Good looks destroyed by your fight. Oops.
I'll try not.
Okay, so the Brianna or Krisanna goes first. You can choose which one of you go first.
Well, if you don't mind, all I'm going to do is, Makenda, do you want to swap again?
Very well. Whack him with the axe.
That's a good
8.
good thing.
So that's another hit.
Yep.
And that's not 2. That's we go 2d8 and a 4. I got a 4 on 1/8, a 1 on the 4. I do only 7 points of damage. Do I think any of that gets through?
A glancing blow, maybe a chip of his shoulder or something like that. Orla.
Is it me on 7? So I think it's me on 17.
Oh, sorry. It's sorry. Yes, I got you mixed up there.
So using my hunting instincts, I'm going to spend a further willpower to gain a boon for this attack.
Yep.
And I'm going to attack him with my spear.
Do so. Roll.
Right, come on then. Let's see what we get. 8 and a 1. Okay, I've got a dragon.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, cool. So my damage for that weapon is 2d8.
Yes, and now last time we had a dragon, I was sneakily chose the effect. In reality, in the rules, you get to choose one of 3 effects.
Okay.
And I will now let you choose. I apologize to Aidan for not letting you do that. But you get to choose either
Ignore armor.
Ignore armor. Do double damage, ignore armor, or where the hell is I did have that the other that critical hit. Armor weapon doubled. Armor has no effect. This effect can only be chosen if the attack deals piercing damage. Do you do that?
Yes, it's a piercing weapon, yeah.
Yes. And I thought about 3.
It's launch a second attack.
And launch a second attack. Yes. So choose
So
one.
if I do double damage, do I roll? Do I
Dice
just roll
twice.
once? Okay.
Not the damage bonus. You roll your weapon damage twice.
Yeah. So we're thinking his armor's probably 6. So I think I'm probably going to just roll double damage because I'll probably, on average, do at least that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my damage is, that's 5 from the first roll. That's better. That's 5, 11, 14 from the second roll in total, plus my d6. 5, 19 in total.
Ooh, that's a good one. Deduct armor. That's a powerful blow. But he's still standing.
Still standing. Okay, I howl with rage as I make this attack. I say, "That's how you do it, duckling."
Does Makanda react in any special way to that slight of his?
Are you saying I get
ability?
angry?
Yes.
Well, I can only get angry when I need to push a roll. Can't I?
Oh, okay. So maybe next turn.
Can I? There's no point in pushing a roll if I've succeeded, is there, in this game?
No, exactly. No.
Yeah,
that's correct. But it's the Death Knight's turn, and he simply reaches out towards you, and let's see what he can do. He will raise his hand and gestures towards a character within 10 meters. I think he will gesture towards a monster, a beast, a wolfkin maybe, who is hurled into the air and lands prone 2d4 meters away. Let's see how many that is. You howl and you are then cast 7 meters away.
So is it? That's how you do it, duckling.
It
cannot be dodged, and you suffer 7 points of damage.
Oh, ouch. Okay, so that's 5 after my armor. Does my armor count for this?
Yes, bludgeoning damage. So
that's 5. Okay, that puts me down to 11.
So he throws you into the walls.
Into the wall, yeah. Okay.
If he would be able to laugh, he would laugh now, but he can't do that. So
but I took his lower jaw away with that blow, so he can't laugh
exactly.
anyway.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's his first attack this round, and then it is his turn again. So let's see what.
So Makanda's turn.
The ghost then kneels and makes a gesture towards the ground, and suddenly a temporary portal to the realm of the dead opens up in the floor, and a character within 10 meters is attacked by wraiths who tear at the victim while shouting their names in despair. So the mallard becomes scared and suffers a fear attack with a penalty to the willpower roll. And a fear attack is quite simply attack that targets, let's see here, fear. When struck by a fear attack, you must immediately make a roll against your base willpower attribute, and you get to use two d20s and choose the worst result.
Choose the worst of these. So I'm looking to get under 14, and I get a 4 and a 5.
Oh,
I am a stouter-hearted duck
yes,
than that wolf.
I'm not frightened. I just got bashed against the wall.
So fear attacks are potentially disruptive to the cohesiveness of your fighting abilities as a group, but you did stand strong against the wraiths from the portal of the dead. Now it's Orla.
Okay. Can I light my my arrow on fire?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay. If there is any torch that I light my my arrow and try to shoot, or this is the other action.
I will allow you, since I think it's a cool move. I will allow you to light your arrow as a free action, and fire as a normal action.
Yeah.
Mirth and mayhem.
Unfortunately, I failed.
You failed. Will you? Do you want to
Push.
Yeah.
Okay, you push the roll.
Or press, even.
It's a boy.
The Death Knight glares at the mallet. You will.
Yeah. Jokes like that mean death.
While I'm trying to run and fire my arrow, I tripped, and there is mud and bad guano all over my clothes, so I will choose dirty instead.
Okay.
Can
good.
I?
And then you will push the roll.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
No. Was a good move. Good move.
Is that a
Well
20?
done.
It's a
Yep.
20.
It's a 20.
It's
Oh, it's a
demon.
20. Okay. I feel like I need to find the
Lycander of Halfbay died from an arrow in the back of the head that was burning. It's slightly covered in back guano.
I will let's see now.
It's like watching a Keystone Cops film.
It is rather.
Actions,
What could
reactions.
possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Could possibly go wrong.
Let's see now. Absolute skill post rolls. Then I have that one. Failure. No, there's no special. Rolling a demon means that the roll fails regardless of a skill level, and you cannot push this roll. But since it was a push roll, it wouldn't have made any difference. So you do not shoot Makander in the back. Yeah, exactly. We'll see if we can get them to expand on those rules. Aedan. Chaos has erupted. Wraiths from the dead.
He's wielding magic.
He's wielding magic, absolutely.
That's annoying. I'm not okay with that. There's only one proper mage in this room, and it's me. Now he's currently
as far as you
fire.
know, yes.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I am indeed, of course. Absolutely confident. What worked once should work again. I think I'll just throw more fire at him on the general principle that fire made it good. So I will use 2 power levels again because, like you said, there's no point in harboring these willpower points. Although I'm starting to get a bit worried. And I roll a 10, which is a success.
Okay.
So, which is good. And then I'll roll my page, which is 8 points.
Ooh.
Burst into flames.
Yes, he
Demon
is
from hell.
burning, or at least smouldering now.
Did he fall over?
We are at Chrisana.
God damn it. Can I use my free action to swear at the halfling?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I swear at Christina, get in here and stab this thing.
From where Christina is, does he have line of sight of the creature?
Let's say yes.
Okay.
That's the most fun.
He's going to throw a dagger at it.
Ooh, okay. It's right in the eye, maybe.
Well, we hope so.
If we're lucky. But whose
So-
eye?
Well, we'll see. It might be a Archmaster. Right then. So what are we using? Knives. Yes. And is it knives for a throne or is it
Let's
Marksmanship.
see. I would say that it would be. I would say. I say you're correct that it would be marksmanship,
Not so good.
but
Duck.
Duck.
I will do this for Krisanna. I will give you a boon on that since you are very good with knives.
Okay. And I get a 3 and an 18, so I'll take the 3.
Okay, then you roll the damage.
It's 1d8. That's d10. Don't roll that, Paul. And a d6.
Exactly.
So that's 9 points of damage.
Yes.
Perhaps. Well, no, it's going to block it with his armor, isn't it?
Most of it is absorbed by the armor, and he's already lost part of his face and things like that. So it doesn't do that much damage to him. But it's a pinprick, and sometimes it all adds up.
Is piercing damage any different? It's not.
No.
Okay.
It means that it's. Why did I ask Dave? Why did I ask you about piercing damage?
I think because he had his critical success.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we have the next round. Initiative. Would you like to keep Baston?
I'm going to keep 17. Yeah, I shall spend another willpower to keep that.
I don't know what my initiative dice are doing, but I'm getting 1.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got 1 this time, so it's not worth us swapping that.
13.
Orla 13.
15 for moi.
I've done 15. So, Baston.
Okay,
You pick yourself up from the floor, I guess.
I'm angry about this. This creature
Right.
doesn't do this to me. And I'm howling as I charge towards him. I'm going to use another point of willpower to give myself a boon on my hunting instincts again. And I'm going to leap in the air. And as Achilles did to what's his name in Troy, I'm going to leap and spear the guy right in the neck.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's your plan. Roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm confident. So, that's what I'm going to do.
Hector's the good guy in that story, right?
Exactly.
I know.
Just saying.
I was never saying I was the good guy here. I'm just I'm the best guy. I rolled a 3 and a 14, so I hit.
So it's a hit. Yes. Roll for
58
damage.
plus 1d6 for damage. Come on, let's get some good dice. Okay, that's 15 in total.
Ooh, okay. He seems on the brink of falling down. He staggers and
Finish him off, duckling.
Difficulties lifting his morning star.
Excellent.
So, Aodan.
So Aodan, so he's almost toppling, right? Like he's just on the edge, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So Aodan will simply flick his fingers at the demon with his hand and just go, what's the line? Oh, Drakaris. That's the line. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you very much, everyone. With a simple whispered Drakaris, I flick my fingers at him and just do a normal power level fire spell because I'm arrogant.
Yep.
And because I have 6 willpower points left. And I roll a 13, which is a success.
Okay.
And I roll 1 point of damage. 1.
Are you lighting his pipe?
His cigar. His cigar. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here, may I? Flick.
His nose tip catches on fire.
That's right.
And
he's not dead, is he?
No. He's
got
1 hit point left. And
you're missing 2 for God's sake. Somebody blow on him.
He looks at you, Aodan, with distaste in his eyes, and does An unholy roar.
Oh.
The Death Knight's decayed skull twists and lets out an inhumanly horrific scream that cuts like a rusty blade through the character's souls. Everyone within 10 meters must roll against willpower to resist fear. So, D20 against willpower.
I'm guessing I'm still with the Bane since I had that before, right?
Where did you get that from?
Well, I got the scared thing from the attack he did with the rates.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
you haven't rested.
Yes, good condition. Yes.
So
So?
I roll with the Bane. Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Everyone except Chrisanna, you're far enough to avoid this.
Whee!
Oh, so hold on. Am I rolling with the Bane? I was
No,
reading the line about.
No. I'm rolling with the Bane because I had a
Right.
fear attack before.
So, Matt, what did you do? How did you do?
I got 6 and a 1.
So,
So I can't use the critical, sadly, but I'll take the 6.
Yes, Aodan, how did you do?
So I rolled an 18, but the good news, everyone, is 19 willpower. So just slide on in.
Wow. Baston?
I rolled a 1.
Orla? And
2.
that 2. Is that a 2?
20.
20. Okay. Wow.
Oh, Mohammed! You are
This is
such
the
a
end.
lucky man.
If this is D&D, I'll be jumping from joy.
Yeah, exactly, but it's not. But it is possible for you to push this roll if
Okay.
you would like to. But then you would have
Yes.
to choose another condition.
Yes, please. I'll probably.
Can't have the elf being the only one
yeah.
terrified of a Death Knight, can we?
I am using the scared. She's scared now.
Yes, absolutely.
And I rolled a
sounds fair.
7, so below
You-
the 10.
Yes. So you were about to lose it, but then you thought
I
about
have-
the forest. And,
Yeah, I flicked my memento, my the tooth, and I gain my composure.
yes, the tooth from the troll that slew your sister. You miraculously avoid being scared. Any of you struck by fear, which means that it is now the Death Knight again.
Okay.
No, that was his turn. Sorry, he's not.
No.
Three.
He's got 2 turns, hasn't he?
Exactly. He's got that. So it's Orlan, your turn.
Yeah, I want to. She's now. She's not scared. She's breathing, and she's close her eyes and shoot another arrow.
Yes. Fire away.
And just below 13 from 14. So
Okay, so hit. Good.
So
So now you want to
6.
do at least 7 points of damage.
okay, so the first one is 7, and the additional is a total of 9.
Okay. So I subtract 6 from that because of the armor. And then I half that because he's got resistance. But it takes him down to 0, which means that an arrow strikes him in his heart. And like before, a portal opens under his feet. And from the portal, a blue light emanates and hands come up and pull him down through the floor. And he gestures towards you before the floor closes up above his head. He is gone.
Back to the
Easy.
darkness.
Back into the realm of the dead. I will let the mage roll a learning.
Yeah, I figured that was going. A 3.
A 3.
A 3.
You have heard that such death knights are difficult to kill
And don't stay dead.
and that they might return
Yeah.
if given enough time.
Okay.
He can try again. He was easy. 2 blows from me and a few little bits from you lot, and we finished him. Don't know what you're frightened of.
Yeah. So, everyone, good news. Well done, everyone. Good work. Great teamwork. Loved it. I'm basically out of magic, and he's going to come back. So, can we get this on? Can you pull that, portcullis up? Because we're probably not going to, summon him now, like with noise. After you, Baston.
Yeah, I don't need asking twice. I'm going to go to the portcullis and
yes.
I'm sure this is the wrong idea.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yes. What could possibly be sitting at the table with a magic sword in hand waiting for you?
Well, she didn't animate when we got attacked by the Death Knight.
You're right.
So,
So it's
because the Death Knight didn't try and steal her sword.
Dave, did you roll? Or Baston, did you roll?
Oh, you want me to roll? Yeah, of course. My strength is 18. 12.
Okay, so to heighten the drama a bit, you work on the door, the portcullis, a while, and it breaks down.
Ooh, would that be a stretcher's worth of working on the door?
Yes.
Awesome. Can I have...
So the rest of you are able to... No, you can't rest in the dungeon while adventuring. You have to go for something which is safe and nice and comfy. But I will allow you to leave the dungeon with Baston staying behind by himself, breaking the portcullis.
Works for me.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah. Good. Baston,
that's fine.
Give us a bell when you're done, and we'll be back.
They need somebody to kind of keep watch while they're up in the stone circle. There might be all sorts of attacks there.
So we all troop back up the road.
No, wrong bird. Quack, 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 quack. Off you go. Off you quack. Go on then, Mikanda. Go on, just crack off.
I'm protecting the weak.
Okay, so I'm going to roll my 2d6 of willpower healing, and I'm going to heal my condition.
Yes. Baston, do you stay behind by yourself in the darkness?
Yeah, well, I've got my torch down there that I'll prop up.
The place is lit.
True.
There's light coming from.
Yeah, there's light coming through, so you don't have to use that one.
Okay. So the willpower healing's gone well. I just want to share that with everyone. It's been highly successful.
Points.
I've really recovered a lot of willpower through my resting. I just make that very clear.
Sorry, go ahead.
As you walk down there by yourself, Baston, you curse your friends.
That's fine. They're just cowards. It's fine. Someone has to be brave.
And as you break through the portcullis, you are overwhelmed by strange visions. It's difficult for me to pronounce. Strange visions. Looking out, suddenly you find yourself looking out over a strange city of towering turrets, towers, and spires, horn-like. Something is flying towards you. You see a huge dragon ridden by a knight in golden plate mail and a great horned helm, a familiar horned helm. You must make a willpower test to resist fear.
Okay. I can push this if I want, can't I?
Yes.
Just in case I need to.
Unless you have a condition for your willpower.
I've got no condition. I've failed the willpower because I rolled 15 against my 13. So I'm gonna. So I'm not frightened by this. I'm angry.
Okay.
I'm angry at myself for feeling a frisson of fear when I know how brave I am.
Yes.
And I should re-roll that. And I get a 17, so I fail it anyway.
Okay. So roll a d8 to see what happens to you.
D8. That's 3.
3. It leaves the intense fear of this encounter leaves you out of breath and makes you exhausted. So mark the condition exhausted.
Exhausted agility. Okay. Does the vision then fade, or am I still
vision
seeing?
fades, and you are left alone with the entrance into the room clear before you. Let's go back to your friends who are up in the stone circle resting. Is there anything? Have everyone done their thing? D6 hit points.
So if
Before
sorry, carry on.
no, okay. Before I rest, can I because I wanted to check if there is any animals that I can summon within the area.
If there are any animals, you make a quick check of that, but you can't find any. It seems as if they are scared of the magic energies from the burial mound.
Okay, so I will roll 1d6 for my points.
Yes, 1d6 for hit points and 2d6 for willpower. Is it?
Yeah, my willpower is full, but I will use my inner peace. It's with 0 points, willpower points to have additional 1d6. Okay,
Heal.
so
Very
I
good.
have +6 as a total. Okay.
Very good. Chrisana?
I rolled a 1d6 and got a 4, which means I've only got 2 hit points
damage
lost, which is better.
Have you used any willpower that you want to regain?
No, I haven't used any. I got whacked by the bats and kept out of the way.
Oh, okay. Very good. So, Makanda, did you need any healing?
Matthew?
Well, so my question, actually,
Yes.
I was going to ask, I've got a condition.
Yes.
But resting will cure that condition if I choose.
Yes.
But if I stay patrolling and actually keeping an eye on my colleagues, that won't happen, right?
No. If you keep patrolling, you will not heal, and you will not heal your condition.
Yeah, so I think I haven't got any hit points. So
no. Okay. So you stand fast and protect your friends while they recuperate.
Yeah.
Sometimes you try to listen down the shaft, and you hear the wolfkin pant and growl down there.
How are you getting on down there?
Oh, let's fuck off dragon with some bloke on it.
Oh, yes.
He seems to have gone now, though.
He seems delirious.
Right. You've killed the dragon?
It saw me and ran away, yes.
Good job. He's gone to Lally, everybody.
After this stretch is done, you reconvene in the chamber just outside the portcullis and outside the room with the table and the woman.
Yeah, I'll tell them when the doors open.
Yes. Baston howls up to you. Get down here, you cowards. It's the road. The road is clear.
So, obviously, there's a magic sword. Clearly, that needs to be handled by a trained professional. So, Kristana, go get the sword and give it to me, and I'll take care of it.
I'll have a think about that. Can I go up and do a little spot hidden on this sword to see if there's anything that looks nasty about it?
You can observe it from afar and roll a spot hidden. Absolutely.
Rolled a 1.
Ooh.
Honest.
It's a magnificent bastard sword set with jewels. It looks very fresh. Not fresh, but it looks pristine. and indeed there's a flame captured within the ruby of the hilt, but that is about what you can observe about the sword. Everything points to it having some sort of special property, but you cannot ascertain what that property is.
Okay, so looking at this little flame, is it flickering like it's alive?
Yes.
Kristana says, I ain't touching that.
Oh, okay. I just stride up and grab the sword. This is it's if it's a flaming sword, I'm in.
Mm-hmm. You stride up.
Is anyone stopping me?
Actually, I probably can't lift it.
Okay. The rest of you, Eodan strides in and grabs the
I'm
sword.
slowly reaching for the sword. Does anyone want to stop me? No. Okay, good.
I shake my head, sighing.
You sigh, ass.
I think
I've
I
got a
step
bad
forward at the
feeling
same
about
time
this.
and cover the corpse in the chair in case it moves.
It does
That's what I'm doing
indeed
too with
move.
my axe.
I'm going to
Yes,
hit it with
indeed.
my spear then.
No, the corpse actually doesn't move, but a translucent, faintly blue shimmering woman, a tall warrior maiden in full-length chainmail and a gilded headband, steps up from the corpse.
Told you I wasn't going to touch it.
Her face looks sad and dignified, and she looks at you with disdain and scorn. Eodan, you stand there with the sword in your hand.
I do. Is it good?
She points at you and talks to you in an ancient language. So,
Learning.
learning?
Learning.
Learning.
A 6.
A 6. You don't really understand what she's saying, but you can understand a few words, or rather you have sort of come across these words in writing, ancient scrolls, fragments of ancient scrolls. She says something about dragon and empire and fighting and corruption, and she pointed at you. She looks furious and holds her hand towards the sword.
Like she's reaching out for me to give it to her?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way that's happening.
Okay. So roll for initiative, everyone.
A 5!
Oh, for fuck!
For duck's sake. For duck's sake.
For
Matt,
duck's
for duck's sake.
2.
17.
17 for Orla.
3.
19.
Bastian, 3. Krisanna, 19.
Yep.
So, Krisanna, remember all those times that I've saved your life?
Eodan, did
No.
you say
Okay.
5? Did Eodan say 5?
I did say 5. That is
Yes.
correct.
Sorry, I'm not talking into the microphone. Okay. Oh, yes. Sorry. I have to do another roll here. The first thing that happens is that Krisanna gets to act. It is, you all realize, a ghost.
Yeah. Okay, Archmage, I'll swap with you. You can have my initiative, and I'm on a 5 now.
Ooh, really?
Yep. Well, it's a ghost. I can't stab it.
Okay, so I'm moving on 19.
Yes, so
I have a magic fire sword, and I have a ghost in front of me,
Yes.
and I have a whole stack of party members who could be between me and the ghost if I retreat right now.
Yes.
That sounds like a plan. Let's do that.
You run away. You run away. I'm going to have my initiative back.
Yeah, if you run away, I'm not going to fight this thing for you.
Okay, Eodan, you retreat. Do you do a dash, which means that you use both your actions to move?
No, I only use a move action. So I step back so that I'm not directly in hand-to-hand combat with the ghost.
Yes.
And then I just throw everything I've got at this ghost.
Okay.
So I'm going to burn all of my willpower that I have remaining, which is all of 6 points.
Wow.
And throw fire at it.
Okay.
That's your answer for everything, Wizard.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 100%.
Except bats, of course.
Except for bats, yeah. And I roll a 15, which would be a fail. But because I've healed my condition, I can re-roll. So I shall.
Yes.
I will push, and I will
take a condition.
I will be angry, I think.
Angry? Yes.
Yeah, because this thing wants my magical sword. It's now my magical sword. Clearly.
Yes, your magic, of course, yes.
Yeah, of course. And I'll roll 4, which is a much better roll.
Yes.
And I will roll 3d6 of fire damage on said ghost. Or should I not bother rolling?
Oh, yes, you should roll.
Oh, okay, good.
You should roll high as well.
Yeah, so when you say high... No, it's all right. It's 9 points.
9 points.
Yeah, slightly below average.
You hurl from 3d6. Well, you hurl 9 points of fire damage at the ghost, and it takes effect. You can see it. She draws back and looks scared almost, but then she rallies and reaches forward again.
Okay, that's my move.
Yes, and then we have Orlan.
Yeah,
Orlan.
I don't think that Ghost will be stabbed or pierced with an arrow. You said that the magic sword had sort of crystal on it, or did I hear?
Yes, a ruby, a flickering ruby, a red ruby with a flame inside it, and that is currently in the hand of Eodan, the mage.
Okay, there is something telling me to destroy the ruby, but I don't want to hurt my fellow. I don't say friend for now. That's done.
Your traveling companion.
Yeah.
Well, what do we as a group think if he wants to smash the ruby? We don't have any rules for cold shots.
Well, there'd definitely be a bane involved, wouldn't there?
Yes.
But I will hurt him.
But you will absolutely hurt the Archmaster Eodan.
Maybe I will shoot at the body itself. Maybe it can take effect. Did the ghost emerge from the body?
Yes, you mean the yes, it emerged from the body. It did. If you want to, you can for free action roll a learning roll. So roll d20 against learning. See if you remember anything about ghosts.
I'm illiterate elf, but no, failed, of course.
No, okay, yes. No, you don't remember anything special about ghosts apart from them being horrible.
I will shoot at the ghost and see what will happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So 14. It's a 1.
Wee.
Okay.
Let's hope it affects the ghost.
So to make things a bit easier, to your horror, you see that the arrow passes through the ghost and lodges itself in the wall behind it.
Yeah.
Not doing any damage at all.
Yeah. A good use for the one.
Yeah, unfortunately. You would get experience for it, though.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Then you hear a sound, a scream or several screams, and from beyond the oaken door to the north, you see a blue light emanate.
Our friend.
And yeah, I was going to say, and just to confirm, would that be the same kind of blue color that we saw when said Death Knight was swallowed by the Death Gate?
Yes.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm thinking magic sword feels like enough treasure. We should leg it.
Well, you would. You've got it.
Well, at least I'm not thinking of.
And if I'm seeing this correctly, did I write Makanda 1?
Makanda, yeah, I believe that is the case. Or hold on, is it this time?
No, 2.
No,
2.
2. No, wait, yeah, sorry.
2
I'm here. Makanda 2
yeah.
and Baston 3. Oh, you did. So it's Krisanna, actually, at 5.
Yeah. I'm gonna try something really foolish. From where I am, the door, has it got a lock?
The oaken door to the north or the portcullis?
Yeah, the one to the north.
Oh, let's see here. No.
Ah, bugger. Is there a lump of wood laying on the floor?
Absolutely.
Right. In that case, what Krishna's going to do is grab the lump of wood, run to the door, and jam it as hard as he can so it sort of wedges the door, hoping that the door opens inwards and not outwards.
Yes. I will allow you an intelligence roll as a free action.
I can't see anymore. Hang on. Eyes are gone. Where's the intelligence? Oh, I've got decent intelligence. I'm quite clever. I rolled a 9 and I've got intelligence 14.
You grab your lump of wood and you run up, and you see that the door unfortunately opens. No, wait, it opens outwards, and you slam the piece of wood, sort of wedge it against the door, so it at least would stop the door from opening easily.
Right. That might, and can I?
And then
I don't know where.
Then you step back, remembering that the Death Knight did pass through the portcullis.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did wonder when we'd remember that bit.
Yeah. But anyway,
But it might work. It might work. We never know. Let's see now. Then it's Baston. No, wait. Sorry, it's not Baston. It's actually the ghost, who rolled atrociously for the initiative, but you rolled worse than her, so...
Believe me, atrocious rolling for the initiative.
So, let's see
My
now.
speciality.
D6. She towers over one of the player characters and stares with dead eyes into their soul. The victim sees their life flash before their eyes and is reminded of dead friends and foes in a grotesque vision. That would be Aedan with the sword. You become scared. So mark scared.
Ooh, okay. So there's no dodging that one?
Nope. And you suffer a fear attack with a bane. So roll 2d20 and choose the worst result against your willpower.
Look, the good news is I'd have to roll a 20 on the dice to fail this roll.
Ah, yes.
I rolled a 3 and a 4. I actually said that in the hope I would roll a 20, but
Yeah, well, that would have been nice. But you actually you are not that scared. You feel that this will pass. This too will pass. Then it's the ghost again. Let's see what she does. Ooh, she rolls a 1. Phantom Strike. She lunges with great speed and force at a player character within 10 meters. She goes for Aidan again because you're holding her sword. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are hurled 3 meters backwards and land prone on the floor.
Can this be dodge or
No,
He
cannot.
I've already used my action anyway.
Okay.
And you can subtract armor from that. If you have
Yeah,
any.
in my with my copious robes, I will subtract exactly 0 from that damage.
Then it's Baston. You have seen the ghost try to scare Aidan, who stands fast against such foolery, but then she just threw him to the floor. She's screaming incomprehensibly.
I don't think I can do any damage against this thing, so I'm going to decapitate the body that she stepped from.
Roll an attack roll.
Do I get a boon because it's like a stationary thing?
Yeah, we can say that. Sure.
Yeah. I think that's still a hit. Oh no, it's a miss.
Oh.
15 and an 18. I miss on both.
You don't miss, but it's a lot more difficult to cut through this head than you expected. So your sword just sort of bounces on the thick, almost petrified flesh of the mummy.
Does the ghost react when I do that at all?
No.
No. Okay. That's my action. Yep.
Makander.
So, I've been sitting here panicking about whether I should light my torch and use that as a weapon instead. But seeing the wolf attack the body, I wonder whether that might give us the answer we need. And he's using a sword for a job you need an axe for.
Well, I'm using a spear, actually.
Oh, yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, no wonder you can cut the thing off. Right. Stand clear. I whack the body.
You whack the body again.
For a 6. Why can't I fail one of these rolls and push it?
It's a hit. You are more an expert. Did you use your sword or your axe?
I used my axe.
Axe. Yes.
Axes are for chopping heads off unless we're in France, and the French are always wrong. These opinions are not the official opinions of the Effect Podcast.
Yes.
For a fabulous 1 + 3 + 4.
Oh, okay.
Gives me 7 again.
8. 1 + 3 + 4 is 8.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
You're right. It's 2 4s. It's 8. Yeah.
So 8 points of damage knocks the head off the corpse, and it falls to the ground with no ill effect on the ghost.
We're just beating up this poor cadaver who's done no wrong whatsoever.
Surely desecrating the corpse will make the ghost happier.
The last thing that happens this round is that you hear someone standing up rather noisily in the room to the north. It sounds like someone who is dressed in full plate armor.
Oh.
Initiative.
Hurrah.
Initiative. Oh god, I got a 2 this time.
Well done, you. I got an 18.
Woohoo! Makander 18. Bastian 2. Okay. Orlan?
14.
14, sorry.
14, yes. Krisanna?
10.
10. And Aidan?
17.
17. That's quite good, actually. Let's see how it goes there. Let's see what the Death Knight. Oops. Okay. Then let's start with Makander then.
Right. Okay. Obviously, my axe is going to do nothing against the body. against the ghost. I just desecrated the body, and that's had no effect. I go back to my original plan. I still have an unlit torch. I have a lighting kit. What do they call them? Flint and steel.
Tinderbox, yes.
Can I light my torch?
Oh, yes. It is a bit chaotic, so I'll have that as an action. Not a free action, but as an action.
Thank you. And not as a move action.
Not as a well, yeah. You can, yeah. We can do that.
Okay, then.
You can
All right, then.
move
So
action.
if I light my torch as a move action,
then
I will.
You can clobber her with the
clobber
torch.
the ghost with the flaming end.
Yes.
If that doesn't sound rude. It does. It sounds rude. Oh, 19. That won't do at all. I'm going to push this, and I'm going to push it with anger.
Of course.
Because I'm getting
is that your
Oh yes. Oh yes it is.
Ill-tempered thing?
Yeah, that is my ill-tempered thing. So I spend 3 willpower points.
Yes, you get a boon to your reroll.
And so I now reroll with a boon. 8 and 6. So one of those hits. What's the damage for a flaming torch onto the ghost?
Club is D8. I would say that the flames do D6.
D6, do I get my strength bonus added onto that?
No, unfortunately not, since the actual damage from the club it's basically it's immune to weapon damage.
I do at least get a 6.
You do, okay. You have done some damage to it. Aedan.
Yep. Okay. Quick ruling.
Yep.
So I'm at 0 willpower.
Okay.
So I am going to burn hit points for willpower so that I can cast this spell.
Yes.
Now, I only have 5 hit points left.
Okay.
Because I got bludgeoned.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah.
So my question to you is.
Yes.
Technically, I applied the damage after I roll for the spell.
Yes.
So can I roll? Can I get more than 5 willpower? Is actually the question I'm asking.
And I would say, let's see, if you can draw power from a body, harmful, even lethal. Roll a die of choice. Before there's only so many willpower you can. Ooh, that's a good question. I would say no.
What if I was willing to sacrifice a death save? So if it took me below 0, I would sacrifice a death save and start. I'd already lost
one
my death
death save. I will. I will allow that, but right. I will cap it at a D10.
Okay, that's more than legit. Yep. Okay, D10 it is.
For all the listeners, what Aedan is doing is he's drawing power from his body, which means that he can sacrifice hit points, and he rolls a die, and the amount of he takes that amount of damage, and he gains that amount of willpower. But the question was, what would happen if he would roll a die that is potentially greater than his hit points? What would happen then? And that's a quick ruling that I will cap it at D10. But you can roll a D20, but I feel that would be abusing this a little bit too much. So roll a D10. You get a 1.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
I got 1 willpower point, which means I can't even cast a fireball.
No. Okay.
but I take 1 point of damage.
Exactly, but you can try next round again.
I can. Woo!
Woohoo! Okay. Orla.
Yeah. So now the ghost is standing, and we have the demon knight.
The demon knight seems to be poised to walk into the room from the northern room.
Okay.
Through the northern door.
Okay. So
Luckily, Chrisana has blocked
yeah.
that door. That's no problem with the demon knight.
No, exactly.
Okay.
The
No
door is
pressure
blocked,
at all.
No, absolutely not.
So the fire is hurting the ghost. So can
Yes.
I repeat what I did before that I can?
Yes. You reach
okay.
out for the torch and put fire to one of your arrows.
Yeah, and I will try it.
Fire.
I got a 3, so
Okay,
it's
good.
success.
So I would say that you. Oh, let's see what first. Yes, roll for normal damage, and I'll make just make an.
Okay, so first 2d6, 4, and the other d6 is 5, so 9
Okay.
as a total.
Mm-hmm. Good. You see that the flaming arrow causes her concern, and she draws back a bit, clearly wounded by your attack.
Perfect.
And then we have Chrisana at 10. Yes, Chrisana.
You're carrying a torch, aren't you, Chrisana?
I was at one point, but remember I threw it down the shaft, and I don't think I ever picked it up or gave it to anyone else.
The wizard picked it up and relit, or failed to relight it, I think. But,
Yes,
Yeah.
but you have lit it during your rest when you climb down again. So.
Okay, in that case, I'll take a swing at the ghost with the torch. But am I behind the ghost?
No. Oh, yes, you are. Since you
I'm by
went
the
to
door.
the door. Yes.
Yeah, in
you
that
are.
case, I'd like to use one of my skills.
Aha.
I would
Okay.
like to use.
Yes,
I'm going to spend 3 willpower points
Mhm.
and use back. Oh no, it won't work. I was going to say I want to use backstabbing, but it can only be used with a subtle weapon,
Ah, okay, yes.
which are
Yes.
flaming.
It's not.
I
really
think a
subtle.
flaming torch is subtle nowadays.
It's very subtle, isn't it?
Yes, it's a famous ninja weapon.
So
You didn't see my flaming torch, did you?
yeah,
No.
it's really for stabby, so it doesn't work. So anyway, I'll just take a. I'm not very good
Swing.
with this sort of stuff. I'll just take a swing at it
Yes.
with the. So that's blunt weapons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to roll better than 4. I've got to roll under 4 just to let everyone know and not expect too much out of this roll.
But it can save the day.
Yeah, I rolled a 15. I am going to take a. I'm going to re-roll that, and I'm going to take. I'm scared
You're scared? Yes.
because I've got a Death Knight banging on the door next to me. I've got a ghost in front of me, so I'm going to and a re-roll. That's 1 dice or is it 2?
Yes. No, just 1 this time.
Worth a try.
Yep.
And I rolled a 5.
Oh, so close.
So close. I applaud the action, since I always think it's better to, even though the odds are not in your favor, I always think it's best to try something, to do something. Ghost.
Who was the last person to attack the ghost? You're standing by me. If it attacks you, Chrisana, I will
you
take
will
the blow.
Okay, yes, we will see it might also be a group attack. Ghost, and roll the 1. Phantom Strike. Yes, it lunges at the player character. Do you activate your ability, Makander?
No, is it lunging at the halfling?
Yes.
Then I activate. I spend 3 will points, forcing, basically, I guess, putting myself between
The ghost and the
ghost
halfling.
and the halfling,
And you
and
soak
I
up
take
the
the blow.
attack. And you receive 6 points of bludgeoning damage. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
hurled 3 meters backwards, and you land prone.
I am fine, obviously.
Then the Death Knight walks through the closed door, and hefts
As he
his
does.
morning star. Then the ghost attacks again. And this time it stares at. Let's see now. It stares at 1, 2.
Wouldn't
Aodan
it be good if
again.
the Death Knight and the Ghost were in love with each other, but separated by the fact that nobody had summoned the Ghost up, and now they fall in love and are
yes.
reunited, and we have a happy ending.
Yes.
And
You
they
are
both bugger off.
You are half right with that theory, actually, except for the things that is positive for you guys. You have to roll. Aidan, you have to roll one of these scared rolls.
Yep. Do you want it as a Bane again?
Yes.
Okay. It's a 1 and a 1.
Oh, you stand fast against the ghostly attack, and then
Does the
Baston.
critical give him a chance to get rid of one of his?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for checking that.
Yes.
I appreciate
And
it.
then Baston, it is not your turn because we have the Death Knight before you as well. He strides forwards, and in a frosty silence and with creaking joints, he swings his weapon in a dreadful attack at a player character. Ooh. Let's see who. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 5.
Wonder who's nearest the door.
It's probably me.
Yes.
It might be
Might-
me, since I was flung against it, possibly.
Possibly. Let's see. No, it's Baston. We will see. It's not too bad, actually. The damage is just you're knocked down. You can parry if you'd like. Otherwise, you will take 4d6 of damage.
I'll parry.
Okay, roll for it. Otherwise, you will take 14 points of damage.
Okay, I got an 8 on my parry with 14 as my target.
Okay, so you parry the dreadful attack, and you feel that he presses down on you, and you feel his strength, but you manage to keep his weapon away from you.
But that's my combat action for the round, isn't
Exactly.
it?
So
yeah.
that's it.
So with my move action,
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna leap up onto the table, facing the Death Knight, and say, "You will find there is one wolfkin still breathing in Riddermound." And face him.
Yes. He
I can't
looks
do
at
anything
you.
else. But,
No, but he looks at you. You draw his attention.
I've beaten you once already.
Sneaky backstab.
And the next round, we
Right.
go for initiative again.
19 this time.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
13.
Oops.
16.
19, 16 for Orla. Did you say 13, Ada?
Yeah.
13. Chrisana?
20.
20. No,
Back
it's
that
20. Makander?
14.
14. And this is can be quite an important round for you guys, since you rolled well as well. Let's see what they roll. 17 and a 5. And for the Death Knight, 19 and 18.
Ooh.
That's a bit more difficult. 19, 18. So, Chrysander.
Right.
Chrysander.
Going down in a blaze of glory. I am this time going to I'm going to draw my dagger. Spend 3 willpower points. Use my backstabbing ability and plunge my dagger into the back of the Death Knight.
Okay.
Right between the armor.
Yeah.
So it says it counts as a sneak attack, which means it can't be dodged or parried. I get a boon to the roll. And let's get that bit out of the way first, because I'll probably bugger that up.
One.
Right, so the good news is this is knives, I think.
Yeah.
So I've got to roll less than 14.
And you get a boon as well.
And it is a boon, so I'm rolling 2 dice. I've got a 4 and an 8, so I've got a 4. And then it says the number of dice rolled for the damage is increased by 1, so I rolled 2d8. And it is a subtle weapon, so I roll 2d8 and a d6. And I get 6, 10, 12 points of damage.
Splendid attack.
Except for he's got armor.
Except he's got armor, and he is he's got resistance to normal damage. But you do manage to give him to damage him and draw his attention. But his attention is now divided between a wolfkin who's howling at his face and a backstabbing little halfling. So let's see what he does on his turn. 19-2 there. He roars again, and you have to roll against willpower to resist fear. So every one of you roll a willpower roll to resist fear.
That's bad. I can't push it. 14. Yay!
Made it, exactly.
Made it.
Fine.
Everyone is
I'm
fine?
fine. Yeah.
Yes. And that means that is his turn again, since he rolled an 18 for a second.
So I'm on 19, Magnus.
Oh, you're on 19.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Sorry?
Yes, I wrote 17, but 19. Yes.
Yeah. So
You go.
Hit him with my spear.
Yeah.
And I miss.
And you miss.
I can
Push it.
I think I'm not going to miss this, but I'm starting to get scared.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to push that roll. And I hit this time with a 4.
Ah, yes.
So that's slightly better. And the damage is 5, 8, 11.
Yes. You plunge your spear against him, and you nick him as well. You do realize that you are missing the fire damage that the mage did last time you fought this beast. And now he is doing his second attack, and he is, with surprising speed, he sweeps with his weapon in a deadly attack. All player characters within 2 meters suffer weapon damage. The attack can be parried. So, let's see, Baston, you have already burnt your action.
Yep, I can't parry.
And Chrysander as well.
Yep.
So both of you take 6 points of damage.
6. That's 4.
Armor will help.
Yep.
5 points. Yep.
I'm still going, but I'm getting beaten down a bit.
And then I have mixed up all my initiatives here. Look at this. Did Makander have 18 or 14?
Makanda had 14.
14. Orla 16.
Orla 16. And 19 for you, 20 for you, 13 for Aodan. Okay, so that means that it is now the ghost. The ghost lets out an unnatural wheezing sound and appears in front of
Archmage Ardan, since he's got to go in about 5 minutes.
Oh yes, because he has his the ghost's sword, and lock. The ghost locks you in a deadly embrace meant to extinguish the spark of life. It inflicts D12 bludgeoning damage. And I roll a 12.
Well, it was not snowing, yeah.
And you are also scared.
I am scared already, actually. So, but
do you drop to 0?
I definitively dropped to 0.
Yes.
Yeah. -8. Matter of fact, technically.
-8.
And let me then check your total hit points.
Were you at 0 already because you'd used
No,
your...
no, I was down to 4.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I only got 1 willpower point, and I only took 1 hit point of damage when I did the let me, try and use my body up.
Oh yes.
What were your total hit points?
11.
11. So
because if it does more damage than you've got hit points, you're dead.
Oh, am I?
I think it's more than you have Constitution, isn't it? Or is it
Same
hit
story.
points?
Also the same story.
Check.
Hit points and Constitution, the same thing.
Yeah, I read something somewhere that if it's like double, if it scores double
Instant
your
death.
yeah.
Oh no, negative score equal to your full hit points.
Ah,
So
right.
I'm only at -8, not -11.
No, you do survive the attack, but roll to you go to 0.
I am at 0.
Okay. Then we have 16. Orla.
Okay,
Rally me,
seeing that,
rally me, Orla, rally me.
seeing
Free action.
seeing Edohan fell, and it seems that the ghost wanted to talk before Ken. I don't know if you can reason with her or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did seem to speak to Aidan and demand the sword be returned. And she has been targeting him with attacks. What Aidan, you can at your, let's see now, what Aidan is talking about now is rallying, which means that someone, any one of you can shout to Aidan, get up and fight, and then he can get up and fight.
I can shout that he can to
and then maybe
stand
do
up.
magic.
Yeah, and
Is that a persuasion roll or something?
It is, and
it
it's
is.
free action.
Yes. So you roll against your persuasion.
my bad. Persuasion is abysmal. It's how many points? Okay, seconds. Ooh, my persuasion is 5. Ugh, okay.
Okay. It's worth a shot.
15. Can I push it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm dazed. I'm very tired. So let me try again. No, it's very low. It's 10. So I cannot persuade.
No. Okay, so you try to get him up, but it's a free action still, so you can still do your normal action and move if you'd like to.
Yeah, I will try to Who has does anybody has a good persuasion that I can switch my turn, or I already used my
Yes, you have
I'm
already
coming
activated
just
your...
after you.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't make much difference.
Okay. I will try to attack her with a flaming sword or a flaming arrow again.
Yeah.
And of course, it has to be 20.
No.
Oh, no.
Do you want to push that?
This dice is not your friend.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Wanna
I
push
guess we are coming to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm scared now.
Yes.
So,
Scared, angry,
and
dirty.
yeah, 14 just hit.
Hit. Okay.
Yeah.
So roll for damage. Roll high now.
So 8 and 14. Sorry, 8 and 4. 8 and 4.
12.
12.
Okay. Makander.
Right, I shall shout, get up. Get up, you snivelling wretch. Fight or run. Just don't just lie there.
Roll
And
for
I
persuasion.
have 12 in persuasion. 2.
Oh. So you get Aodan standing up, and then you can perform an action if you'd like to.
Okay. Can I grab the magic sword?
From Aodan. I will say that he dropped it when embraced.
That's what
so
I'm
yes, you can
Okay.
you can grab it.
I have no idea whether this is going to work, but I will grab the magic sword and strike the Death Knight with it.
Okay. Yes. You feel that it's almost alive in your hands.
I'm hoping
But
so. Does it give me a boon?
Let's see. Let me see if something happens. No.
Nope. Okay. I'm going to push that. I am, frankly, I'm really angry.
Again.
I am getting exhausted now. Just tired with all this.
Yes.
And I roll it again, and I get a 1, a crit.
Ooh. That is a very good time to make a crit, which means that you can...
A dragon. Sorry,
a dragon. Sorry, you roll the dragon. You can double the damage. You can ignore armor, or you can attack again.
So my normal sword does D10 damage.
Yes.
2d8.
What does this sword do?
2d8.
2d8.
2d8. I will ignore armor and roll 2d8 damage.
Plus strength bonus.
Plus my bonus strength of 4. Oh, I get an 8. Thank God for that. And a 4. Finally, I start hitting 12 and a 5. 17 points of damage.
You cut into the Death Knight, and he is taken aback by the power of your blow. And he retreats into his room. And Aodan, or do you want to move somewhere, Makander?
I'm gonna. Sorry, we've still got the ghost of the other one behind me. No, I'm just gonna say everybody run, get out of here.
Yeah, right.
I'll hold them off.
Aodan, what do you want to do? You are standing up.
I am.
If you take damage now, it is equal to a failed death roll.
Yep. So this literally has to be my last roll because, unlike everyone else, my workday is just starting, and I have to give this room back. I have to give this room back to someone so they can do calls, and I need to go and do calls.
Yep.
So I am going to burn hit points. I'm going to do fire damage. I'm going to go for the ghost. I'm going to. So she's got me in a freezing embrace, and I'm just going to burst into flames.
Yes.
So fireball. All right, and it's 5 points of willpower, which gives me 6 in total. And I will roll my spellcasting, which is an 11, and I will do her 3d6 of damage.
Ooh. Nice.
And roll 13 points of damage. Not bad.
Okay. Yeah. She explodes in a ball of fire. She had 2 hit points left. No, your fireball drives her back to the realms of the dead. She fades away, pointing at you, and Makander holding the sword.
Well, and I think I have to make 1 death save because I was already at -1 because I went below 0. Then I've used 1 up for bursting into flames, and I've only got 1 death roll left, and it's below my constitution, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Is it Bane or is it just below your constitution?
No, just roll and see what happens here now. We're wrapping this up anyway. So you succeeded.
It's a 7. I succeeded.
You succeeded.
No, that's
you want
rubbish.
to die heroically.
I wanted to be a 15. I wanted to be a 15. I burst into flames and I die.
I don't do it. Okay.
That's right.
That's how you go out. But then,
that's how he would have wanted to go on fire.
So you might fall down off the rope yet. So
yes.
All right, and unfortunately, I literally need to bounce.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you,
Thomas, for being here.
Cheers, Thomas.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, Thomas. Thanks for playing.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah,
I think will now wrap this up. You have pushed the Death Knight away for the time being, and you have vanquished the ghost also for the time being. And Makander leads the ragged group out of the burial mound, now carrying a magic sword.
Cool.
And that is your treasure for this expedition.
Cool. And I feel happy leaving because I've already beaten the Death Knight once. This isn't fleeing. This is beaten him already. I don't need to prove it again. So it's okay.
This is a strategic retreat. It's not like the last time you fought a Death Knight, Dave.
Run away.
No, that's true. That was a panicked fleeing. That was. No, that was great. Brilliant. Thank you, Magnus. That was great.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Magnus.
Magnus, just briefly, how does experience work after an adventure like this?
We don't have the experience rules yet, but Thomas has, in a forum post on my Swedish forum that I run, said that when you roll a dragon, you mark experience, and then you will get experience at the end of the
adventure.
Yes, exactly. Probably a session similar to the Blance, where you answer questions and then you get like that. So that's and then you use them to buy like you do in Cthulhu. You improvement rolls. So you say, okay, I want to get better at this. Then you roll above. I would guess that's how it would work.
Right. Yeah.
And then you get it up. So it's a very basic role playing way of earning experience.
Yeah. No just sort of post reward from getting too much demons on my roll.
No, not that I know of. I might. I don't know. It's since they have.
I always say I think people learn from their mistakes more than they learn from their successes.
Exactly. They do have. They will have the third-party license, and I will be writing some extra rules for the Swedish gaming magazine Phoenix. And we will probably translate those into Swedish as well. And some rules that people have asked for are fumble tables.
Nice.
And also critical hits. for weapons, critical attack, so you can roll on a table. So
Yeah.
that's something that Thomas said this Sunday when I listened to him having a chat about this with another guy at the celebration for Dragonbane. That he said that they weren't looking at that at the moment, but of course, it's a really simple thing to do. Yeah, it's you just pick the old War Offense roleplay crit hits and rewrite them for Dragonbane, and then you got something that's really nasty, I think.
Yeah.
And one of our viewers says you also get heroic abilities somehow.
Yeah. It was fun trying out the rules, and I feel that you did a great job. And one thing that the league is talking about is making this a simple game.
Yeah,
and I feel that it is. There were some rules that I thought I knew, but I couldn't find, like what happens when you roll a demon. I thought that it would. I had read somewhere that something more that happened than just, but I couldn't find that. But apart from that, the rules are very simple. I think that one thing I would change a little bit about this scenario is the it's a difficult thing. It's the same thing with in any fantasy game where the villains are recurring and you can't really put them to rest. It can be a bit of a slog at that's sort of what I felt now. It's a bit of a slog at the end of this scenario, and it's also a very small dungeon, so it's not as if it's not as if you can run around having the Death Knight chase you, because he's sort of like he's gonna like take 2 steps and then he's in touch with you. But it's a nice small dungeon, perfect for the introduction. So I think it really is a good introduction into Dragonbane.
Yeah, it was great fun, really good. Thanks.
It's not quite an easy start, though, is it? You go straight into a couple of serious undead.
I think we can blame Dave for trying to open the damn portcullis. Obviously,
it's Dave's fault.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing would have happened if you had chosen another route. No.
Yeah, we'd never have come across the ghost.
Basically, the thing that complicated things was that Aedan snatched the sword.
Yeah. So it wasn't me at all. It was Thomas. That's what it was.
But still, it's there. I also added the ruby flickering thing just to make it more enticing. And I must say that I am a bit sorry that you didn't get into the Death Knight's resting place, because I have added a thing. I have added a chest full of gold. That I was going to let Dave and Matt make up now. You didn't get there.
We'll come back tomorrow for it. That's fine.
No, I was talking to Matt before all of you guys showed up, and when the rules, they will be released at the end of the Kickstarter, the full rules. Then I will get we will have more monsters, and we will be able to play my adventure, which is quite a different beast that will highlight a different play style and some different ways of using the rules. But we'll have to set up a session for that at a later date.
We'll be very happy to invite you back for that one. And this has had a good audience, so anybody who's still listening, we haven't got a date in your diaries for that time, but when the rules are released, we will run another adventure. And thank you. And thank you, Magnus, for running this one.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Magnus.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mohammed, and thanks, Thomas, for being such great players.
Yeah, thank you.
See you all next time.
Cheers. See you all next time. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.